The power-hitting Sean Green and the LA Dodgers try to slow down the hot-hitting Javi Lopez and the Atlanta Braves, who've won 23 of their last 27 games. Good evening and welcome to TBS Sports Control, presented by MasterCard. I'm Erin Andrews. On opening day, New York Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter suffered an injury that some thought might be a major setback for the team. Instead, the Yankees never missed a beat. They have the league's best record at 26-11 and lead the AL East by 3 games. Tonight, the Bronx Bombers got their leader back. Stadium. Jeter's 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Now let's go to the top of the third. Man on for Garrett Anderson, who takes Mike Mussina deep over the right field wall, his 6th of the season. That puts the Angels up 2-0. They now lead this one 6-3. Mussina appears to be headed for his first loss of the season after winning his first 7 starts. Well, coming up next, we'll join Don Sutton and Joe Simpson at Dodger Stadium for Game 2 of this 3-game set. This is Major League Baseball on TBS.
Technique when I get in the batter's box is to dig in, pull the pant legs up. I try to point the bat to center field, knock the dirt off, and try to look real mean. What do you think of that?
Major League Baseball Charities is a proud partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Now I want to teach you about Pine Tar.
Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, they bring baseball and softball to kids around the world.
Don't be afraid of the ball.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a plant menagerie, a fireworks show that lasts all year long, a place filled with ideas and supplies to make them grow. It's our 1-year plant guarantee, so it doesn't matter what color your thumb is. It's baskets of flowers and bushels of plants. It's the guaranteed low price every day to make every dollar work. It's where the garden in your dreams becomes the garden in your backyard. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Let's say this is you, and this is your auto insurance company. You've always gotten along okay, but let's say this is Allstate. Ooh, looks better than what you got now, huh? Well, qualified drivers who call Allstate for a free auto quote can get a company this good for this kind of price, maybe less. The choice is pretty simple, don't you think? So call Allstate now for an auto quote and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
Major League Baseball on TBS, brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. The Home Depot. Go from wondering how to knowing how. At the Home Depot, you can do it. We can help. Bank One's Personal Platinum, issued by us, created by you. And Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's been a cloudy, overcast day all day long in Los Angeles as the Braves and the Dodgers get set for Game 2 of their 3-game series from Dodger Stadium. Good evening, everybody. Joe Simpson with Don Sutton. The Braves prevailed last night, scoring 7 runs in the 9th inning to win 11-4. And with this run the Braves have been on, Don, they've been a very good late-inning team.
Sure have. They've won a lot of ball games after the 5th and 6th inning. One of the things that's very impressive is once they take a lead past the 8th inning, then they just, hey, they blow it out of the water. And I think that's because Bobby Cox has established a system in the bullpen now. He was looking for hand the ball to John Smoltz in the 9th inning. But I think when you talk about the ties and the 1-run games and the extra inning games, I think you got to shift the attaboys over to the offense. This is a good offensive lineup. I'll tell you why I think from a pitcher's standpoint it's a good offensive lineup. You got 2 guys at the front end who can hit, who can run. Then you got the heart of the batting order with Sheffield, Jones, and Jones, who could hit long ball and hit for average. Then you get down to the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Your batting average may drop down a little, but on any night, you've got Javi Lopez and Vinny Castillo who can leave the yard with you. So it's a tough lineup to go through 3 times.
Absolutely, and you got some pitchers that can hit too, so
And that always helps.
Hurry.
And speaking of the lineup, let's check it out for you tonight. Brought to you by Kia and the all-new Sorento SUV. Kia, make every mile count. Rafael Furcal will lead it off. Marcus Giles to bat second. Gary Sheffield. Then the heart of the order, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, and Robert Fick. And I may have shortchanged him. He's been hot lately. Lopez, Castillo, and Ortiz will complete the 9. Dodger defense looks like this. In the outfield, you have Jordan Robertson Green. In the infield, Beltran McGriff on the corner. There's Torres and Cora up the middle. LaDuca behind the plate. And Kaz Ishii off to a good start. The lefty is ready.
And his first pitch is ripped foul by Furcal, who last night was 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. Ishii, 3-1 with a 2.95 ERA. Picked up a win in his last start against the Mets. Gave up only 1 run over 6 innings. His only start against Atlanta was a rough one last year. He only lasted 1 inning and gave up 5 runs. Broken bat flare to right. And Furcal is aboard again. He's now hit in 16 of his last 18 ball games.
And one guy that's not going to appreciate that is Paul LaDuca. I was talking to him down in front of the Dodger dugout today about his hitting, and he said, you know what I need to get me started? A couple of broken bat singles.
Last night, LaDuca robbed on a couple of line drives hit right at people, including Marcus Giles, who steps in. He was 2 for 4 with a double last night. Had the go-ahead hit in the 9th inning off Eric Gagne. Furcal 6 for 6 in stolen bases.
This is not going to be a short ball game because you have 2 guys who are deliberate workers, but you also have 2 pitchers in Ishii and Ortiz who throw a lot of pitches. They walk a lot of people and they go through a lot of deep counts.
25 walks in 39 innings for Ishii. And for Ortiz, 29 walks in 50 innings. Giles was 3 for 3 on Sunday, 2 for 4 last night. His average back up to 331. He has the major's highest average against left-handed pitchers at 483. 1-2.
The voice you hear calling the balls and strikes, Greg Gibson, Jerry Lane, Dana DeMuth, and Marvin Hudson from first to third will make up the rest of the umpiring crew. There's Greg Gibson.
Breaking ball fouled at the plate. Ishii last year had a good year for Los Angeles, 17-11. He was 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting, despite the fact that he had already pitched 10 years in the Japanese League.
Yeah, what do you think of that? If you played at the major leagues in any place, because technically it's your first year in the American or North American major leagues.
I originally was opposed to them being eligible, but now I accept it. And I think anytime you come to this level of play, regardless of where you come from, if it's your first year and you play that well, then you're entitled to whatever recognition comes your way.
Because we haven't proven yet that the other pro leagues at their major league level could equal
our equivalent. No. 2-2 to Giles. Full count. Ishii was very fortunate last year. His season came to an abrupt end September 8th. He was hit in the face with a line drive off the bat of Brian Hunter of Houston. Suffered a fractured skull, but came back ready to go in spring training and is off to a good start. Runner going, pitches. Well, short of home plate. First walk issued by Ishii.
And you notice he got 2 quick strikes with his fastball, and that was the last one he threw in the strike zone. Went to 3-2 with a changeup, and then threw a 3-2 breaking ball. So in talking to some of the folks who have watched him, they said that's kind of his track record. He'll go deep in the count, and he might just all of a sudden break out a pitch you hadn't really thought of and throw it 3-2.
He's 29 years old, 6 feet, 215, out of Chiba, Japan. Had an outstanding record in Japan in his 10 years there, 78-46, and averaged over 9 strikeouts per 9-inning game. Gary Sheffield steps in. and takes a curve. He hit a ball that the scouts were still talking about from last night.
And the question that they kept asking is, how do you get on top of 96 and reverse it on a line like that when it's shoulder high?
An incredible swing. 2 for 2 with a double and 3 RBIs last night. 1-1.
Jim Tracy said, I'm convinced the harder you throw it, the harder he hits it.
I think that's right. He's hitting .511 on the road. That's the best mark in the National League. And still greeted by boos when he comes back to Los Angeles. That should stay in play for Fred McGriff. He makes the play, and Sheffield is retired. And Chipper Jones, the batter, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly last night. He's 0 for his last 6. But last year when Ishii did pitch against Atlanta, Chipper Jones touched him for a 3-run homer in the first inning. Javi Lopez also hit a home run off of him in that first inning. Jones batting right-handed. That has been his weaker side. .330 left-handed average, .211 right-handed. But that smoked to center. Dave Roberts has a beat on it, and he'll make the catch shy of the track. So Call will advance to third, and they're on the corners with 2 out for Andrew Jones.
This is one of those nights here in Chavez Ravine when the ball is probably not going to carry very well. Not much of a breeze. It hardly ever affects it here. But you pointed out it's been an overcast day. The air is really heavy, and it's starting to cool off. A little bit later on, it's going to might be sweater weather here at Dodger Stadium and take some of the sting out of the bats.
Little air, as you can see, blowing out toward right, but it didn't help that one. Andrew Jones got off to a rough start last night. He was 0 for his first 3 with a couple of strikeouts, but then went 2 for 2 in his last 2 at-bats and drove in a run. He's hit in 10 of his last 11. An amazing stat about the Braves that were in their media notes today. It's the first 22-4 stretch that the organization has been in since the 1954 Milwaukee Braves. Pretty incredible.
And I was a little surprised to read that, too, considering some of the stretches they've had since '91.
Right.
Winning over 100 games a number of times.
Check out some good numbers there.
6 runs a game and giving up a hair over 3. And what's one of the reasons, and what we should have touched on in the open, was what they're hitting with runners in scoring position.
Yeah. 1-2 to Andrew Jones, who has a runner at third with 2 out. Also has Giles at first. .37 RBIs for Andrew Jones. Oh, backdoor breaking ball just missed.
Now, if he'd have caught that at the same place on the inside, then you would have had to have given him the strike. But I think you're going to find that this one literally does break around the plate and is caught behind the corner. LaDuca caught it for a strike, but since it was sweeping, it didn't catch any of the plate. Greg Gibson was had his nose right in there to look at it.
2-2 pitch, struck him out. Jones with a funny swing, had to go right by him. So Ishii pitches out of trouble. The Braves strand a couple, and we go to the bottom of the first.
For a special Sports Weekly offer, call 1-800-USA-1415. Kiko 513.
That's the way, Patriot. Let the OPEX keep their gasoline. We'll just tap into a far more efficient energy source. Manpower. If we all learn to pull our weight, nobody will be able to siphon away our high life.
With new Odor Eaters Plus. Odor Eaters Plus is the only insole with podiatric arch support plus protection on demand against odor and wetness.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Easy. Oh, no more biking for you. Oh, I know.
Oh, boy. It's the moment of choice. Tylenol or Advil? What will the doctor give you? Truth is, doctors have made their choice. Doctors nationwide choose Advil most for muscle aches, strains, and sprains. It's simply a better choice. Advil gives you longer-lasting relief than Tylenol on tough muscle pain.
I'll drive.
Make the doctor's choice your choice. For longer-lasting relief, advance to Advil.
The bench on the right is being painted with Krylon. The bench on the left with Rust-Oleum. After just 12 minutes, Krylon is dry to the touch. Rust-Oleum, well, gee. Oh, not good. Oh boy. Krylon, no runs, no drips, no errors.
Let's take a look at the batting order for the homestanding Los Angeles Dodgers, managed by Jim Tracy. Dave Roberts starts in center. Paul LaDuca to bat second. Sean Green will hit third. The middle of the order has McGriff, Jordan, and Beltre. Beltre below the Mendoza line. Alex Cora, Cesar Isturiz, and Kaz Ishii will complete it. Braves defensively, Jones, and Sheffield from left to right. The familiar infield of Castilla and Fick at the corners. We're calling Giles up the middle. Javi Lopez behind the plate. And on the mound, Russ Ortiz.
He makes his 9th start. And Dave Roberts, back in his leadoff spot tonight for the Dodgers, takes a strike. Ortiz 4-2 with a 3.6 ERA. Last year made 5 starts against the Dodgers and went 3-2. But for Atlanta, his last 5 starts, he's 3-0. Roberts shows bunt and pulls it down the first base line. Play. Nobody to toss to, but Giles gets there. Marcus Giles thought he got the out as Roberts went in head first.
That's the only possible chance. That is a perfect bunt. And get ready, he'll do that a lot. He loves to bunt, for base hits. I don't know that he could have taken that in his hand and rolled it in any better spot. Fick is not going to win that foot race. And it's a bang-bang play.
I thought Jerry Lane had it right, Don. I think the hand got there just a split second before Giles' foot.
And I think you're right. I think the replay shows that.
Roberts, 13 stolen bases in his last 21 games. He's second in the league with 16 swipes. And here is Paul LaDuca, 0 for 4 last night. And Roberts is going. And he's got another stolen base, 17 on the year. He got a big jump.
Yeah, he waited till he saw movement from Russ Ortiz. He tried to throw him off by messing his timing up and holding the ball. He held it, but he was off and going as soon as he twitched the front leg. He's a good base runner, and he spent a lot of time the last year or so working with one of the all-time great base runners, Maury Wills. That ties him for the league lead with 17. LaDuca's going to bunt him over, and he puts down a good bunt. Tough play for Ortiz, who barehands and goes to Fick for the out. That'll be a sacrifice and a runner at third for Sean Green.
Right fielder.
That's the kind of player LaDuca is. He can hit for power, he can hit for average, but he is a very unselfish player. Jim Tracy calls him a throwback. He said he could have played in any era, and he would play without coaches or managers, and he would do the right thing. It's quite a compliment from your manager.
Sean Green, 0 for 2 last night, did score a run. Fights that one off, 0-1. 286 career average against Russ Ortiz with a home run. A little dirt on that uniform already for Dave Roberts. That should reach the seats. Castillo was playing well off the line. Braves had a bit of a shift on for Green. Out of play.
Dodgers in the World Series in 63, 65, and 66, though they were near the bottom of the league in offense. They didn't score a whole lot of runs. They would hand an early lead to the pitching staff and play good defense. This inning is reminiscent of some of those games. Get a guy on, steal a base, bunt him over, and expect your third and fourth hitter to somehow get him in.
It's 0-2 to Green, and almost to the backstop. Good save by Javi Lopez. Ortiz's last start came May 8th against Colorado. He won 5-2, worked 7 2/3 innings in that game. Gave up 2 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. One and 2 the count. Another good stop, this time the other way as it's in the dirt.
Javi Lopez is going to be ready for the whirlpool. This time the ball is in the dirt, and he settles in like you're taught and fills up the gap between his knees with the glove. Doesn't try to catch it, but lets his body act as a backstop.
2-2. Tried to cover the outside part of the plate and did, out of play. If you couldn't tell, it's cat night here at Dodger Stadium.
Very bright caps.
The 2-2 pitch. Foul back again.
He really hasn't come close to getting good wood for the last 2 days on anything above the belt inside on him.
Well, he had a pretty good game on Sunday in Montreal, but before that, he was scuffling. And in fact, he's just 3 for his last 22. Got it. Good pitch by Ortiz and a big strikeout to leave that runner at third base for Fred McGriff with 2 outs.
That's when Ortiz's fastball is at his best. Gets the velocity on it, little late cutting action. He doesn't try to do that. As a matter of fact, he has to make an effort for that not to happen. If he wants one to go the other way, it really costs him a lot of effort. He banged his head against the wall, he said, for a few years trying to stop that cutting action because he was getting hurt on it. And then he said all of a sudden one day a light came on. I said, well, why don't I use that and just locate it differently?
Fred McGriff last night 1 for 3 with a double. 5 homers, 19 driven in, 0 for 3 in his career against Ortiz. And that mini shift on again for this left-handed hitter, and as a result, Dave Roberts is standing about a third of the way to home plate and takes even more when Ortiz gets set to deliver.
Oh my goodness.
Good changeup. 1-1.
If that ball bounces 6 feet away from Javi Lopez, he's got a shot at scoring.
Yes, he does.
That's as big a lead as you will see anybody take down the third baseline.
Nobody to hold him.
He may be distracting McGriff a little bit. He's so close.
I tell you, if you're Javi Lopez, you better not lob that ball back to the mound either after a pitch.
Exactly.
1-1. 2-1 with Brian Jordan on deck. Ishii pitched out of trouble in the first inning. And now Ortiz trying to do the same. Two-one pitch. Outside, 3-1. Ortiz in his career 5-5 against the Dodgers, but oddly enough, he's pitched better in this park. He's 4-2 here.
And about a run a game less that he's allowed here than he has up in San Francisco. I think Dave Roberts is having fun.
Yeah, he is. He's playing around. He knows he's got plenty of room to get back if he needs to. Well, they didn't give McGriff anything to hit. And he'll trot to first to put runners on first and third for Los Angeles. Brian Jordan, the batter.
Brian Jordan.
First walk issued by Ortiz. Jordan was 0 for 2 last night. Snapped a 7-game hitting streak. He did draw a couple of walks. And it is his right hand that is sore from that foul tip he got in the batting cage, or off the batting cage, in Montreal. Out of play. Jordan with a .240 career average against Ortiz and a couple of homers.
Ortiz must have some lively action on his fastball near the plate, because nobody has hit it squarely. Some of them have been up and with a lot of the strike zone, but thus far nobody's been able to get it on the fat of the bat.
Just missed away, 1-1. Ortiz, 28 years old, 6'1", 210 out of Gilbert, Arizona. That was Roberts at third, McGriff at first. To third. Castilla will go the short way, and Ortiz pitches out of trouble, and he leaves runners on the corners, and we go to the second inning, no score.
I said pull him back up.
Hey, that ain't what I heard. You've seen Paul Beatty like this.
I'm gonna stick this fork in your freaking eye.
But you've never seen him like that.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Analyze that. Own it on DVD and video.
It's Suzuki Summer Sizzler, and these great deals give you one more reason to get the new bike you've been waiting for. Get up to $400 cash back on select motorcycles. And on approved credit, use your Suzuki credit card for great financing deals, like $25 monthly payments for 9 months, or 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 6 months. There's also great low installment loan APR financing available on all cruisers, sport, and street bikes. These sizzling savings give you one more reason to ride, and the deals won't last long. So get to your Suzuki dealer today.
The power is in your hands. The Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Professional results in about a third of the time. The one and only Wagner Power Painter. For guys who like to run wide open.
We all feel the effects of our state's economic health, but none more than our school children. Locally, Operation Outreach is uniting schools, teachers, and parents. The support of Operation Outreach by the Metro Portland New Car Dealers Association gives classrooms a curriculum-based program tailored to meet the needs of our local schools and develop your child's education, pride, and confidence. This partnership is brought to you by the Metro Portland New Car Dealers, Operation Outreach, and Comcast Cable, helping our schools, helping our community.
You never have to wait to connect to Comcast high-speed internet service.
You getting online?
Yep.
Where's the noise?
What noise?
You know that.
We're always connected, so there's no noise.
Good. I hate that noise.
No dialing up, always connected, no noise. Comcast high-speed internet.
We are back, and it's time to remind you that it's time for TBS in the Booth, powered by AOL for broadband. Do you have a question? Well, simply send us an email. We'll select a question to answer a little bit later on. Send your question to MLB on TBS at AOL.com, and please, we'd like it if you'd include your name and where you're from.
Well, Robert Fix, the batter, that's his name, and he's from Southern California and takes ball one from Ishii.
And getting one of his infrequent starts against left-handers.
Yeah. 1 for 4 last night. He's hit in 7 straight with 8 RBIs in those 7 games. Out of play.
There was a quote attributed to Bobby Cox in one of the papers today that said, I've got to figure out how to keep my other 2 guys sharp so they're going to get some playing. But he said, I am convinced Bick can hit left-handers. If you check his stats over his career, he has hit them. And he said, soon he'll be playing against left-handers.
Only 2 for 15 so far this year, though, against lefties. If I'm a left-handed hitter, though, and if I'm Robert Vick, I'd like to see more of that curveball right there. I think that's a hittable pitch when you throw it at the hitter and let it drop over the plate.
Yeah, you're taught not to throw it there. The best one starts in the strike zone and breaks out of it. That was a good one there on the outside part. Atlanta now 11-5 on the road, and they've won 10 of their last 11 road games during this phenomenal 22-4 streak. There's a good curveball for a strikeout. Second one for Ishii. Do you notice how he located those three curveballs? The first one, I agree with you, probably didn't mean to throw it on the inside corner, but his next one went inside corner, outer half, and then here's one here that goes middle to outside corner. So he just led him right away with that curveball, much the same way you see a power pitcher lead a guy up the ladder with the fastball. That was a big sweeper there. Bobby Lopez, probably the hottest of the Braves hitters. 6 for his last 12, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. A homer in each of his last 3 games. You mentioned it in our opening comments, Don, and some scouts were backing up what you said tonight at dinner, talking about how you look at the Braves lineup, you got Javi Lopez and Vinny Castilla batting 7th and 8th. You got something working for you if you're the Atlanta Braves, and that's happening. Sure you do. I don't. They'll hit. They're going to hit between 250 and probably 280, but each of them is capable on any pitch of hitting the ball out of any park. So you're going to get some offense. You may not get the 330 batting average that you're going to get from Sheffield and maybe from Chipper Jones, but you're going to get double figures in homers, and you're going to get a bunch of RBIs. 0-2 and high. 1-2 the count. Lopez had the home run against Ishii the first time he faced him in Atlanta last year. 2-2. Lopez hitting .260 overall, but .409 against left-handers. Full count. You talked about Nomo last night having that pause. He had several pauses in his windup. Yes, he did. But Ishii has one too, but it comes early. Right after he steps back, he kind of stops. Right there. And that's one that they had to talk to the umpires about. Breaking ball for the strikeout on Lopez. 3 for Ishii. Let's send it to Aaron Andrews at TBS Sports Control for an update.
Well, Joe, the Reds activated Ken Griffey Jr. today from the disabled list, but they didn't need him because in the top of the first, Austin Kearns with a 2-run shot to left field, his 12th of the season. 2 batters later, that's Adam Dunn with a 2-run homer of his own to center. That's his 13th. They now lead this one 7-2. And guys, Jr. did pinch hit tonight, but he grounded out. Back out to you.
All right, Aaron, thank you for that update. You're right. With the way Kearns and Dunn are swinging the bat right now, Cincinnati not missing Ken Griffey Jr. Vinny Castilla had a home run last night. He was 2 for 3. Also had a walk. Had the base hit off Gagne to start the Braves rally in the 9th inning. He's had a couple of games where he's getting good plate coverage and hitting the ball that way to the right field, and that's pretty deep, but Green has room, and he'll make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Ishii. We go to the bottom of the second. No score.
The NBA playoffs are on TNT. Tonight, the quest for the championship continues with 2 pivotal Game 5s. First, 2 of the deepest teams in the league head back to Dallas when Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks take on the Kings. Then, Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers have won 2 straight and look to take the series lead from Tim Duncan and the Spurs. Kings, Mavs, Game 5, followed by Lakers, Spurs, Game 5. Coverage begins at 7. The drama of the NBA playoffs is on TNT. Win or go home.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a commitment to having the lowest possible prices every day, and not just a promise. It's the assurance of a price protection guarantee. It's a reminder of just how smart you really are. It's a little extra change in your pocket. and the know-how to make every dollar work. It's more than a store. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Bottom of the 12th. Game time.
I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast with Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal, wood protector plus waterproofer for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal and New Advance, the most powerful protection against water damage.
Sometimes the best of friends
Sam, it's good to see you back, man.
God, I'm glad to be back. Make the fiercest enemies.
These men are beating the hell out of each other. They're going to destroy each other.
Triple H. I am gonna chew you up and spit you out. Kevin Nash. Triple H, you're a dead man. The World Heavyweight Championship.
This is just two men that can't stand each other trying to destroy one another.
WWE Judgment Day, sponsored by Clearasil, Sunday, May 18th, live on pay-per-view.
Adrian Beltre.
Good sides crowd here tonight at Dodger Stadium, and in the crowd are Mike Siegel and Leslie Ann Machado, hosts of TBS Superstation's The Movie Break. Be sure and tune in to The Movie Break every Thursday for the latest entertainment news and also to watch some great movies. Just for the industrial strength snacks there, huh?
Absolutely. Well, it's a long game, you know. It's a 9-inning thing. You got to pace yourself. Adrian Beltre, 0 for 4 last night. He's dipped below the Mendoza line. 195. Takes ball 2.
We're talking about Ortiz's walks, and he's already walked McGriff. Of the 30 that he's walked, 7 have scored. That's right at a little better than 20%. In the air to right, and Sheffield is under it. A little hard to see right now, but he makes the catch. 1 away, and that'll bring up Alex Cora. We mentioned a few days ago that one of the Braves clubhouse kids and bat boys was in the hospital, and we want to again send our best to Ruben Perez, who's going to have surgery tomorrow at Atlanta Medical Center. And Ruben, all the guys in the clubhouse wanted you to know they were thinking about you. And there you are. And Alex Cora takes a strike. He was 1 for 4 last night, hitting .283 for the year. Castillo was in on the grass. He'll back up a little bit. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Greg Gibson. I like that. Strikeout number 2. From a pitcher standpoint, you like that. Not just a strike, but yeah, you did.
Shortstop.
No doubt about it.
Cesar Izturis.
Cesar Izturis, 1 for 4, the double last night. Boy, it was a timely double, at least at that moment in the ballgame, because it was a line drive single with 1 out in the 7th inning, and stretched it into a double and wound up scoring the tying run. On the ground to short. For Call, fires in time, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Russ Ortiz. 2 scoreless innings from Dodger Stadium.
It's there at your fingertips. Armor All Protectant Wipes. They don't just clean and shine. They protect with just a wipe. Think it's impossible to paint plastic? Think again. Introducing Krylon Fusion, the revolutionary paint that actually bonds to plastic on a molecular level. Without any sanding or priming, its unique formula provides a smooth, professional finish that won't flake off. Krylon Fusion, the no-prep super bond paint for plastic.
With new Odor Eaters Plus. Odor Eaters Plus is the only insole with podiatric arch support plus protection on demand against odor and wetness.
Salem has failed to solve the budget crisis again. So now it's up to us to pass our county measure this May. A yes vote will mean a full school year, lower class sizes, and prevent over 800 teacher layoffs. Seniors in need will get help with prescriptions and housing. It'll stop the release of dangerous criminals. And for once, we know the money will stay here and go where it's supposed to. So vote yes to restore the basics. It's the right thing to do.
We want to change the way you feel about long distance.
Announcing new long distance service from Quest.
We asked what you want, and we've been listening.
Here's the proof. New plans designed for the way you call.
Introducing Quest Long Distance for Oregon. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD for great rates by the minute if you talk a little, or by the month if you talk a lot. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD or visit us online.
We've got new plans at Quest.
All designed for you.
That's our spirit of service. Quest.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
The new MLB Authentic Collection Performance Batting Practice jerseys and caps are here. Now anybody can get them. Just visit MLB.com.
Russ Ortiz leads off the third inning for the Braves. He's hitting .211 for the year. 4 for 19 with a homer. Ortiz for Colin Giles. No score from Dodger Stadium. Chilly Dodger Stadium tonight. Game time temperature 62 degrees, but it's supposed to dip down into the 50s tonight. Wow, that's cold here, forsooth. It is to these folks with the blankets and the coats on tonight. It's cold for these locals.
Keep an eye on Ishii's elbow, his left elbow. When he tucks it down around his side when he throws, he leaves pitches upstairs. When you can see a gap between the side and the elbow, and it's up to a little, almost to a 90-degree angle, that's when his curveball is breaking down instead of going uphill. Jim Riggleman on his right. Jim Colburn, the good pitching coach that they have here.
Another one in the dirt, 3-2. Jim Riggleman's come back to where he started, really. He, of course, managed in San Diego and Chicago for the Cubs, but he started his playing career as a Los Angeles Dodger in the minor league system. Full count for the pitcher, and he struck him out. 4 strikeouts for Ishii. Back to the top of the order.
Well, no surprise for him getting the strikeouts. He's just shy of a strikeout an inning this year.
Hat Day will bring out a lot of folks to Dodger Stadium. How about Matthew McConaughey, who's trying to cram about a size 9 head into a size 6 hat, looks like.
But the hat's free.
Enjoying a Dodger dog. Game's over here. Hard hit by Furcal and into left field. He's got his second hit of the night. And the only hits for the Braves so far against Ishii.
Second baseman, Marcus Giles.
And Marcus Giles will be the batter. He walked his first time up. Braves had first and second, nobody out. First and third with 2 out, but couldn't score.
You wonder what all those motions are with Ishii and McGriff. Well, both of them were pointing out who is going to be covering at second if a ground ball is hit to them.
Up the middle, base hit. Furcal will stop at second as Roberts gets to it quickly. And the Braves threatening again with the top of their order. And Gary Sheffield gets another warm greeting.
That's a pretty good pitch that I think Giles hit down and out away from him. But he's getting such good inside-out plate coverage now and not pulling off the ball. That ball was, I think, 9 times out of 10 on the first pitch. If you're the pitcher, you think you're going to get something good out of that.
I think he's kind of zeroed in on staying on top of the ball, Don, and I think that's helped him immensely instead of trying to lift.
Got out Sheffield with a change up last time, out away from him. but he had Sheffield's timing thrown off. Got him to pop it up.
Yeah, a rarity lately to see Sheffield do anything to make a hard out or have a hard hit.
As hard as he's hitting the ball, and with everybody in agreement that the harder you throw it, the harder he's going to hit it. He might be tempted to put him on a change-up diet. Just say, okay, well, he's not going to hit it any harder. You know that for sure.
Just put it someplace where he's not going to hit it back at you.
Oh, yeah, good point.
There's a slow breaking ball, 1-1.
Well, most definitely you're going to change up inside to it. Beltre's further away and got a bigger glove.
Sheffield's average with runners in scoring position 378. That was a rarity for him last at bat when he popped up.
Hitting 378 in that situation and blistering the outs.
Yeah.
He just doesn't take awkward swings. It's amazing how many good swings he takes at how many different kinds of pitches.
Runners are going. The ball gets away from LaDuca. Furcall's going to try to score. LaDuca can't pick it up, and he'll score from second on the wild pitch. He never hesitated around third, and then LaDuca, when he tried to pick the ball up at the screen, had to pick it up twice. 1-0 Atlanta on a tremendous play by Rafael Furcal.
Well, you know that he's got to play in front of him, and somebody is yelling to LaDuca, gotta be, get the ball there, get the ball there. They had a shot at getting him if he comes up with it with the first grasp. But when he didn't get it with that first pickup, there's no chance. Furcal is already 2/3 of the way down the line before he ever got to the ball.
Good angle there on a
exciting
double
play.
clutch. Oh, it was wonderful, and Giles followed him around to third. 3-1 to Sheffield. How do you score that? Is that a stolen base and a wild pitch?
Yes. Has to be.
Because he was running on the play. Is that it?
Yep, he was running on the play, so he gets third. And then the wild pitch brings him to the plate.
Ball 4 to Sheffield. They're on the corners with one out for Chipper Jones. Second walk issued by Ishii. Give Giles a stolen base, too. He was on the back side of that double steal, so he's got his fourth.
Well, the Braves, based on what has happened when it's gone well for them this year, have to be sitting over there very happy. They've won 14 in a row when they score first. They're 18-1 for the season when they score first. And they're 19-3 this year when Furcal scored. So they got all that package rolled into one.
Putting pressure on the defense, and it paid off. Chipper Jones flied out to center his first time up. 0 for his last 7. One of the things I noticed down about Marcus Giles when he's on base behind Rafael Furcal, he takes a smart lead. He walks off first base not looking at the pitcher and catcher. He's watching Furcal, and then as the pitch is being delivered, then he'll square up. But he's always got his eyes on Rafael Furcal so that if Furcal runs, he runs with him.
And that's the way to do it.
Take a look here.
You won't be able to see Giles, but Furcal is on the move, and you'll see Giles flash into the picture. And Furcal doesn't even hesitate. And neither does Giles.
No.
Giles is only about 45 feet behind him.
3-0 now to Chipper Jones with Andrew Jones on deck. So Ishii went through a stretch where he struck out 4 out of 5 batters and got Ortiz to start the inning, and now he trails 1-0 and is in a world of hurt.
He's gotten away from his fastball a little bit.
3-0 pitch. He's swinging and got something off speed, it looked like. 3-1. Smart pitch.
More and more pitchers are going to something other than the fastball, to Sheffield, to Andrew Jones, and to Chipper Jones 3-0. Because Bobby Cox is liberal with the green light there, so you can't just say, okay, he's going to spot me one and throw a get-over fastball.
3-1 pitch is high, and they're loaded for Andrew Jones. Back-to-back walks and 3 on the night for Ishii. And Jim Colburn will make a trip to the mound. The Braves during this stretch, run that by me again. I know they're 19-1 when they score first, but what's that number with for call?
They're 19-3 when he scores. In the last 100 ball games he scored, they're 83-17. So this year already 19-3. So that's a double shot of good for him.
Yes, it is. And what a year he's off to. As much as we talk about different guys in the order, sometimes we kind of lump for call in with the top of the order and how the top of the order is getting the job done. But leading the league in hits, he's 2 for 2 tonight on top of a .327 average he had coming in, and he's now hitting 16 out of his last 18 ball games. Quite a start for call. So Colburn has his chat with Ishii, and Andrew Jones will try to atone for his strikeout in the first inning. And that slow curve drops in for a strike.
It's probably his best pitch, but when he gets his fastball is 90 plus with some movement, and you can't pitch away from the fastball. It's still the best pitch in baseball.
Another curve and another swing and a miss. Andrew Jones second in the league in RBIs to Preston Wilson now, but has a golden opportunity for some here.
Remember the last at bat from Andrew Jones, he got 2 strikes on him with the curveball, then threw him a fastball just above the knees that he took a kind of a
half swing at.
Yeah, broken back swing at.
Got him again. Andrew Jones strikes out with the bases loaded. And now it's left to Robert Fick, who fanned his first time up.
First baseman, Robert Fick.
Same sequence, curveball, 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 fastball. This time a little bit bigger swing, but he located that 2-strike pitch perfectly.
5 strikeouts for Ishii. Brian Moyer looked up the career numbers for Robert Fick against lefties, a .254 average.
5 of the last 6 outs recorded by Ishii have been those strikeouts.
During the 7-game stretch for Fick, he's hitting just under .400. That ought to get him out of the inning. Roberts there, and Ishii dodges a bullet. He gives up a run on the wild pitch, but that's it. He leaves them loaded for Atlanta. We go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Tomorrow, she'll risk her life on the bed of death. He climbs like a cat, and body part art. And all true Ripley's Believe It or Not. Tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, 10 Pacific on TBS Superstation.
Something remarkable is at your fingertips. Now you can call anyone in America for 3 cents a minute, 39 cents to connect. And not only is it 3 cents anywhere in the U.S., but also to Canada and to Western Europe. Introducing 1010-987. There's no monthly fees, nothing to sign up for. All you do is dial 1010-987 so you can use it right now. Hey, a rate this low never went so far. 1010-987.
You see an energy crisis crippling a city. At Franklin Templeton Investments, we saw a chance to uncover value in a troubled utility through the hands-on approach of our Mutual Series fund managers. Generating returns for shareholders in situations like this requires a unique perspective, the kind that has made Mutual Series a leader in value investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
And there's more efficient use of space.
Great.
Just talked to the guy at Office Depot. Everything's going to be fine.
Terrific.
Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized.
Looks good.
Office Depot. What you need to know.
You know, hon, you can always stay with Fran and Carl. They think I'm a hotel.
Maybe we should just get a room when we get into town. We're booked. Why don't we call your brother Jeff? He's always traveling.
And always on short notice.
The best deals? It's a no-brainer. Hotels.com.
Hotels.com.
Save on thousands of hotels worldwide. Hotels.com. The best prices at the best places, guaranteed.
We go to the bottom half of the third inning. People trying to stay warm here at the old ballpark. Kaz Ishii takes a strike. He's been getting some hitting tips from Hideo Nomo, and he's 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts. Oh, and 2.
That's perfect. You got 2 4-year-olds about an hour before their bedtime loading up on cotton candy. That's going to be an interesting ride home.
Hope the walls of the car are padded.
Yes.
Out of play and into the upper deck. One thing about Ishii, he's a perfect 4 for 4 in sacrifice bunts this year. Dodgers have really improved in that area, they say, thanks to Maury Wills, who worked hard with them in spring training.
Spent a lot of time this spring with everybody, but especially the pitching staff.
Ishii retired. Let's send it back to Aaron Andrews for another update.
Joe, thanks. Let's go to Fenway, where Nomar Garcia-Parra capped a 3-run 8th inning with this double. Here you go, off the Green Monster. That was scored Johnny Damon. The Sox, they go on to beat the Texas Rangers tonight 5-4. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. I think the next time we're back in Boston, I'm just going to have to go up and sit in those seats before the game just to get the vantage point for those seats above the Green Monster.
Well, you played left field in that ballpark, didn't you? It's the same thing.
Yeah. Need an air sickness bag up there. You're so high. Dave Roberts had a bunt single, a stolen base, but was left at third in the first inning. His 17th infield hit. He missed last night's game. He's been nursing a bad hamstring that was aggravated a little bit on the hard artificial turf of Montreal. Giles is playing in shallow, handles that, 2 down.
For the Dodgers, number 16.
Paul Lo Duca, 0 for 4 in the series with a sacrifice bunt. That bunt put down in the first inning. Kind of interesting to see him with only 1 homer at this point, though.
Yeah, because he's capable of hitting 15, 20, maybe more than that. And it's gotten to the point, I think, where it's frustrating him a little bit because he was headed for some early batting practice and specifically working on some things today. 0 for his last 7.
I wonder if batting in the 2 spot in the order is having some effect on that.
I could do that.
Changes some of your responsibility.
Especially with a guy in the front end for the most of this year that's a runner. Guy who's going to steal bases. You got to take some pitches.
Or if he's started, he'll start over.
Changed his mind about the pitch in mid-flight.
Hard hit on the ground, but another good stop by Furcal and a brilliant play. Fick stayed on the bag, and he got him. Outstanding defense again, turned in by Rafael Furcal. We played 3. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
We're bad. You're black. I'm Matt.
Gibson, Glover, Pesci. Lethal Weapon 2, coming June 15th to TBS Superstation.
Oh, look, it's the guy who falls. Fall now.
Oh, I don't really do that anymore. It's not like I got that insurance.
What insurance?
Flat.
They pay you cash if you can't work when you get hurt. Not that I ever do. Aisle 5 under lingerie.
Price check.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Flat.
The power is in your hands. The Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Professional results in about a third of the time. The one and only Wagner Power Painter. For guys who like to run wide open.
Maybe I don't own a fancy building or a big shipping department yet. But Brown still takes my business seriously. I can print labels, track shipments, order a pickup right from here. And with the time I save, I can build my business. Maybe I'm not exactly part of the limousine set, but I have a driver.
Small business shipping. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Okay, let's say this is your car and you get into an accident. Oh boy. If you take it to an Allstate recommended repair shop, they'll fix it, so you're pretty happy. You're like, woo, I'm pretty happy. Even better, Allstate guarantees the workmanship for as long as you own the car, which means if even the smallest thing goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it. So you're still happy. You're like, woo, I'm still happy. So there you go, the Allstate Lifetime Repair Guarantee. Call now and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
Top of the 4th inning means it's time for the Aflac trivia question. And tonight's question, what pitcher holds the Major League record for most consecutive wins to start a season? We'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of the inning. Meanwhile, we go to the 4th and Don Sutton.
And Avi Lopez, Vinny Castilla, and Russ Ortiz. I have a feeling that question's prompted by the fact that Mike Messina is off to a great start this year.
And pitching tonight for New York.
Right. Lopez, first time up, struck out looking. Already 5 strikeouts for Kaz Ishii. Starts in with a changeup for strike 1.
I think some of these guys early in the count are going to have to go up there looking for that breaking ball at some point.
Because he's not going to spot you that fastball down the middle. Joe was talking about that little pause in his delivery. Here it is right there. And when he first got over here and started pitching, they had to sit down with some umpires and have the umpires come check it out because I believe, if my memory serves me correct, they had a little problem with an umpire who was calling a balk on him. Said that he was balking, so they had to explain that he's been doing that forever, and you can't expect a guy coming off a 10-year career to change. They're saying that he started it, stopped, and started again, which is a breakdown in the delivery. I guess that's a waste of pitch, isn't it?
He's made some very good pitches tonight, and he's made some really ugly ones.
Used to be a term I always hated to hear. If you get 2 strikes, waste a pitch. Now, does that mean throw it in the seats? Or tried it upstairs again. It'll get him ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A run on 3 hits for the Braves. The Dodgers held to 1 hit to this point by Russ Ortiz. The first beach ball of the night first beach ball of the series has made its way out onto the field. It will be punctured and placed away. One of the fun things in the bullpen to do here at Dodger Stadium is find out how many different ways you can puncture them. Deflate them and get rid of them. Still 2-2. I think Terry Forster used to bite them to break them.
Terry Forster bit a lot of things.
Yes, he did. There's the curveball, and it's yanked foul. So Avi Lopez having a good at-bat here. He's fouled away a couple of good pitches off Kaz Ishii. But it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another good crowd here tonight. Last night's attendance in the upper 20s. Here's a look at Dodger Stadium, and they're scattered all around. And one of them is going to get a souvenir in the upper deck.
I did a radio pregame interview with Vin Scully and was asking him about such things as attendance and baseball in general. But he said right now for the Dodgers, last night's attendance was something kind of what he expected, because there's a lot of split attention right now. The Lakers are in the playoffs, and lo and behold, so are the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Dodgers are averaging 35,000. And another foul ball, another souvenir. Yeah, but you better be careful telling Dodger fans their attention is divided with the Anaheim.
Well, he admitted as much. He said there's a hockey team in town, although most people didn't even know it existed because it's in Anaheim, who have really captured the city because of their play.
Another 2-2 pitch to Javi Lopez, and he takes ball strike 3. Well, a good at bat for him, but he gets painted on the outside corner. He becomes strikeout victim number 6. Twice he's gone down.
Not with the breaking ball this time, but it looked like a straight changeup. Look at LaDuca's glove. Never moved it. No, it might have been a fastball. But right at the target. Good pitch.
And out number 1. Castilla, first time up, flied to right. We were commenting then that he's had some good cuts in the last 3 ball games on pitches out away from him that he hasn't tried to pull. Last year, Benny went through a stretch, and perhaps it was because his wrist was bothering him, where he was pulling off of everything and trying to roll that outside pitch over. There's that breaking ball to start him.
And he looked like Benny was ready for it. I think he was looking for it first pitch.
No balls and a strike. Looks like they're coming in on him. Strike 2. You know, it looks like LaDuca has complete control in the pitch selection, because I haven't seen Ishii shake off a single pitch. He has been following him everything that he calls. Going back out away from Castilla. Upstairs, 1 and 2. It also looks like he likes to get 2 strikes and then see if you'll jump on one up and away.
I think he likes to get 2 strikes and then throws one to see if LaDuca can catch it.
Out of play. And 4 or 5 times it looks like he likes to get 2 strikes and then get to 3-2 to see what LaDuca will call on a 3-2 count. Baseballs are already rubbed up. I wonder if the fact that pitchers rub them up is just a part of a habit, or trying to get your own little particular brand of feel to it. Change up his roll foul. Stays at 2 and 2.
Hey, that is a changeup, Don. The pitch that he struck Lopez out on was a changeup. It's just that it's not that drastic a drop off from his fastball. All his fastball is 91. That was a changeup, and it was 86.
It's almost like a batting practice fastball, then, with a little movement away from Benny Castilla and the other right-handers. To center field, but grabbed back by Cora, who was playing deep. Off the bat, that looked like he was going to bloop in there, but Cora plays with a couple of steps out on the outfield grass, so he'll take away a number of hits on those little loopers into center and to right. Out number 2, 4 in a row set down since the walk to Chipper Jones. Here comes Russ Ortiz. He's also been a strikeout victim. 10 strikeouts, the high this year for Ishii, or the high in his career. He got them last year early in the season against Colorado. He actually got those 10 his debut, his first ever start in a Dodger uniform. And right now with 6 as he tries to wrap up the 4th inning. 2-0. One more game in the series here, then the Braves will go to San Diego, while the Dodgers have Florida Marlins coming in. Dodgers with an off day on Thursday. I was looking at their schedule. I think they have more Mondays off than anybody else in baseball this year. about 7 or 8 games scheduled on Mondays.
You know how the weekends are in Southern California. You know, people just can't regroup.
It's funny, I never thought it's that way. They actually don't join the weekend until midday Saturday, do
Right.
they? It took us 2 nights to get the shot of the palm trees to right and right at Cora. So Ishii has a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
Tomorrow, incarceration, infestation.
What's your problem?
And intimidation. Seinfeld back-to-back, followed by France. Tomorrow, starting at 6:30 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
Sometimes the best of friends
Sam, it's good to see you back, man.
I'm glad to be back. Make the fiercest enemies.
These men are beating the hell out of each other. They're going to destroy each other.
Triple H. I am gonna chew you up and spit you out. Kevin Nash.
Triple H, you're a dead man.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
This is just two men that can't stand each other trying to destroy one another.
WWE Judgment Day, sponsored by Clearasil, Sunday, May 18th, live on pay-per-view.
Jerry knows feet.
This gentleman will need surgery. It's not a big deal. But worst, you lose a toe.
Steve knows danger.
You're a smuggler, a pimp with a CIA.
No, I have to kill him.
Oh, Ange, enough already.
On May 23rd,
Our son and daughter are going to be married. We're stuck with each other.
the family that spies together
Give me a hug.
stays together.
We're fine.
Michael Douglas, Albert Brooks, The In-Laws, rated PG-13, starts Friday, May 23rd.
In my family, sharing a meal starts with sharing the menu.
What are you gonna have?
And last night at Olive Garden, we had so many great raviolis to choose from. Like their new shrimp and crab ravioli in seafood sauce.
I'm gonna have a taste of everything.
So, what are you gonna have? Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
If you know a kid with a terminal illness who'd like to take their family on vacation for free, call Give Kids the World. You'll never forget it.
Did you ever see someone wearing sunglasses and think, what are they hiding back there? Well, maybe they're not hiding anything. In fact, maybe they're helping. And you can too. Just watch Cure by the Shore on QVC on Saturday, May 17th. Thousands of designer sunglasses, accessories, and more will be sold at half price. And here's the helping part. All net proceeds benefit the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. It's a good deal and a great cause. So tune in and help out.
There's a look at our scores. We head to the bottom of the 4th. L.A. will send up Sean Green, Fred McGriff, and Brian Jordan. Green struck out his first time up. Rolls it slowly toward first. Where out number 1 is a very easy one.
And time for the answer to the Aflac trivia question. Tonight's question: what pitcher holds the Major League record for most consecutive wins to start of the season? How many of you had Rube Marquardt? 19 straight wins for the 1912 New York Giants. He was in 43 games that year, 38 of them as a starter. He went 26-11, finished with a 2.57 ERA. He also got elected to the Hall of Fame back in 1971. They both had it.
All right, I like it. Did somebody tell me Paula Fishman in the truck had that too? Paul got that answer? She's a baseball historian. McGriff drew a walk his first time up, then erased on a force out. A little bit outside for ball 1. Fred's at 277. 5 home runs to start the year on his trek toward 500 homers, 19 RBIs. Signed a 1-year deal with the Dodgers. Last year was with the Chicago Cubs. Changeup will get strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2 is on the inside corner. See that little cutting action on his fastball at the end? Moves about 2 inches.
And McGriff really locked himself up on it because he does stand so far off the plate, and any move in on a fastball that's in and cutting in, he can't pull the trigger on it.
Just take it and hope it's called a ball. Flicks away the outside fastball. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
But don't throw him anything soft.
Oh, no.
Middle of the plate. In.
Oh, no. Usually veteran hitters, as they get older, become better breaking ball hitters. Partly because of having seen so many, I'm sure, but the swing slows down just a little bit, too.
Sure.
Changeup is fouled away. Gene Mauch used to have a saying, and I never heard it explained this way. He said, when you have a guy who's late on your fastball and you throw him something else in the strike zone, it has the effect of speeding his bat up. So he's making contact at the back of the plate or back near the catcher. All of a sudden, if you change it, you speed the bat up to where he's going to catch the ball out in front, much like we were talking about Chipper Jones's swing has been in the last few ball games. Comebacker, but Furcal was playing at the pull, and he'll make the nice, easy play. Let's go to TBS Sports Control, where Aaron Andrews is standing by.
Okay, Don, let's go to Coors. A good night for Mike Piazza. 2 homers on the night off of Sean Chacon, his 5th and 6th of the year. And now he trails Carlton Fisk by 9 homers for most homers as a catcher. Mets leading the Rockies right now, 8-4. Let's send it back out to Dodger Stadium.
I think he'll pass Fisk before he makes that move over to first base.
No, but he eventually will hit enough from the catching position that it won't matter.
Brian Jordan grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up on the corner for strike 1. Jordan was questionable yesterday, and if you didn't see it last night, he was standing near the batting cage in Montreal. Dave Roberts was hitting, and he fouled one off that hit him right near the hand along the right field line. Could be trouble if it's fair. It is a foul ball. So Jordan, and it was reaffirmed by the people at Traveling Party who were standing around the batting cage, Jordan was not leaning against the cage. It was just kind of a loose net. And Roberts hit the ball so hard that it pushed the net back far enough, a foot or so that the ball hit Jordan quite hard. But he's got treatment and in the lineup last night and back in the lineup tonight. Advantage Ortiz. He's got a lot he can do here.
Just misses with the curve. I just saw a score a minute ago where the Spurs were leading the Lakers by 23 points in the 3rd quarter. Now I know why. I just saw Kobe Bryant down there by the foul pole.
There you are.
What's he doing here?
Taking in an old hardball game.
Huh.
Well, you spot Jack Nicholson here, I'll know they're in trouble.
There he is. Got Kobe's jersey on, I think, anyway.
Another chance for Furcal. The long throw will take care of Jordan. That's 9-10 in a row set down by Russ Ortiz. We're through 4, and it's 1-0 Atlanta.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
You taking that for heartburn?
Panel of experts recommend it.
More doctors recommend Tums. Dose for dose, Tums Ultra neutralizes more acid than Pepsi Complete's antacid. Nothing's faster. Just ask a real panel of experts.
Hey, it's me. Listen, I'm at Office Depot, and Chuck here has some great ideas about how we can get better organized. You know, improve our work process, avoid stepping on each other's toes. Just stop doing the same job twice.
You're at Office Depot?
Yeah.
Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized. Office Depot. What you need to know.
technology and HB people help BMW Williams run every race before the driver ever gets in the car.
What can a Tyrannosaurus Rex teach us about a retirement plan? What's big one day may disappear the next. At Wachovia Securities, we learn from the world around us and provide financial advice for those who need to rebuild. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Major League Baseball on TBS, brought to you by Wachovia Securities. Together we can achieve uncommon results. And Kia and the all-new Sorento SUV. Kia, make every mile count.
Rafael Furcal is going to lead off the top of the fifth for the Atlanta Braves. He has ball one on him. Furcal, Giles, and Sheffield. That's right at Beltray for out number one. Going to the changeup to Furcal that time.
Second baseman, Marcus.
So both pitchers now on a little bit of a roll. That's 6 in a row set down by Ishii. This ball game turning into a defensive pitching duel. But we're not to the 7th inning yet. Both these ball clubs score runs late in the ball game. The Braves this year have scored quite a few more than have the Dodgers late. On the corner for strike one.
Yeah, but it's very similar to last night's ball game in that each side seemed to have opportunities, especially Atlanta, to blow the game wide open, and they never did, and wound up going to the 9th inning tied.
Atlanta has scored 1 and stranded 5 to this point.
Boy, oh boy, can he throw some ugly pitches. He's already fired one to the backstop on the fly. He's thrown about 7 or 8 54-footers.
One of the guys in the locker room was saying today, get ready in the 6th inning. He may just decide to pitch from the stretch, too. Whatever it takes, strike 2. We had a shot at Jim Tracy in the dugout. Really a good man, a nice man. One of those sergeants who earned his way to become a manager. Well respected. Right side, Cora in shallow right field. Well, barely nipped Giles. 2 outs. Jim Tracy is a terrific and tremendous admirer of Bobby Cox. He said, I've watched him since I've been here. I watch how he handles his players, his rapport, and he said, I scratch my head trying to do strategy against him. He said, like last night now, we had him in a jam in the 6th inning because he brings in the left-hander that he wants, and the left-hander can't throw strikes, so we had him in a jam. We had the bases loaded, and he said, I'm sitting here wondering who he's going to bring in, and he said, out of nowhere, he surprised us a little bit with Hodges, but then I thought, he wants a ground ball, he's got a guy who's going to pitch down, and what we had to hope was we were going to sneak a ground ball through somewhere. But he said that was fun. You know, it's fun sitting on this side of the dugout and trying to match wits with Bobby Cox, a guy that I have so much respect for. You don't hear managers talk openly like that too much.
No, and you don't often hear a guy admit that, not that he lost that battle of wits, but that he thought he had him and didn't.
Yep. Sheffield's the hitter, and it's 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. So, and he had a whole list of questions about him. He said, what's he like? What are his rules? And so he was very interested to find out that Bobby's rules are very simple. Show up on time, no jewelry on the field, no music in the locker room, no cell phones in the locker room. Give me your best effort. Don't embarrass me or the organization. He said, well, that's what we're trying to implement here, too. And he enjoyed hearing that a man who Bobby's going to Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He said he enjoyed hearing, a young manager enjoyed hearing that a veteran manager headed for the Hall of Fame had a similar philosophy. I think he was pleased that they were on the same page with all of that. 3-1 to Sheffield. At the knees for strike 2. But I can never remember hearing a guy wanting to sit and talk about another manager and saying how much he enjoys watching him strategize and match wits with him. Good man right there. On the ground, and it's fouled, so it stays at 3-2. There are a number of people who have watched Jim Tracy here who see some similarities, and I'll join this bandwagon, between his style of managing and his rapport with players and that of the late Walter Alston. In that you can disagree with him in his office with the door closed as much as you want, but don't take it outside. Leave it there.
And exudes a quiet confidence.
Good changeup will take care of Sheffield. That is now 8 in a row set down by Ishii. We're halfway home. It is still 1-0 Atlanta.
Home Depot is more than a store. It's a plant menagerie, a fireworks show that lasts all year long, a place filled with ideas and supplies to make them grow. It's our 1-year plant guarantee, so it doesn't matter what color your thumb is. It's baskets of flowers and bushels of plants. It's the guaranteed low price every day to make every dollar work. It's where the garden in your dreams becomes the garden in your backyard. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
You see a grueling commute. At Franklin Templeton, we saw a reason to invest in tax-free bonds for mass transit. Investing in our communities while helping shareholders keep more of what they earn requires a unique perspective, the kind that comes from having one of the largest research teams in the industry and has made Franklin the nation's leading tax-free mutual fund manager. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you're driving around with worn-out brake pads on your car, that's dangerous. Get to AutoZone for a new set of brakes today. Get in the zone.
AutoZone. What are they looking at? This is an easy call.
Nothing's proven to beat the itching and burning of athlete's foot better than, boom, Tough Actin Tinactin. It's the only one clinically proven to prevent athlete's foot.
The rolling stands, Tinactin's still tough.
Good call. Boom, Tough Actin Tinactin.
What a great room.
So comfortable.
How about that breakfast buffet?
All you can eat.
I can't believe a room only costs us $99 a night.
$99? For both of you?
How did you get such a great deal? Hotels.com. Hotels.com.
Save on thousands of hotels worldwide. Hotels.com. The best prices at the best places, guaranteed.
Let's take a look at our John Deere scoreboard. Arizona beat Philadelphia tonight 6-1. They had a 5-run ninth inning off Jose Mesa and the Phillies, and made a winner out of Mike Koplov. Kevin Millwood had pitched in that ball game. Tom Glavine is pitching for the Mets tonight, but Colorado just put 4 on the board to knock him out of the ball game. And remember, SI.com is your source for scores and breaking sports news.
10 in a row set down by Ortiz. He will face Beltre, Cora, and Isturiz to start it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Only 4 hits in the ballgame, 3 of them by the Atlanta Braves. In the air, middle of the infield. Giles tracks it down. There's out number 1. So Ortiz throwing as well as he's thrown since he put on an Atlanta Braves uniform.
You mentioned it in the first inning, Don, when he was in some trouble, that even though he had a first and third situation, nobody was hitting the ball hard, and they still haven't. The only hit was the bunt single.
Late movement will cause that. Here's Cora, a strikeout victim. Cora threat to bunt too, so the infield will shorten up for it. Ball 1 is outside. Cora is another guy that is quietly emerged here as a very dependable player. He struggled for a couple of years. There's a strike. Before he really ended up getting himself on track. 217 a couple of years ago as the regular. But last year at 115 games hit 291.
Huge increase over the year before, when of the biggest increases in the National League in terms of 1 year to the next.
Plays it deep. Second base, has good range. That's popped up. It's going to be a long run for whomever, and it's going to be Andrew Jones to track it down. 12 in a row now set down by Russ Ortiz, and he will try to get out his tourist to end the inning. His tourist, a grounder to short, his first time up.
One of the scouts I was talking to before the game tonight was when I bragged on his tourist play last night, stretching that single into a double. He commented that he makes all the plays, knows how to play the game right, and what is one of the more underrated defensive shortstops in the game.
That's the stuff that was in all of the papers around here, the comments from the Dodgers scouts when he was traded for, when that deal was made. He is out of Venezuela. Another one of the players who spent time this winter with a lot of concern for family. Back up the middle. Giles going to have to be quick. He is. They're picking and grinning this inning. A couple of pop-ups, and a terrific play by Giles will end it. 13 in a row set down by Russ Ortiz. We're headed to the 6th in a 1-0 ball game.
TBS Superstation has a serious case of nonstop comedy. 2 Drew Carey's, 2 Home Improvements, 2 Seinfelds, and Friends. Holy crap, he's gonna blow! The nonstop comedy block, weekdays starting at 4:30 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
What are they looking at? This is an easy call. Nothing's proven to beat the itching and burning of athlete's foot better than boom, Tough Actin Tinactin. It's the only one clinically proven to prevent athlete's foot.
Rolling stands, Tinactin still the toughest.
Good call. Boom, Tough Actin Tinactin.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal, wood protector plus waterproofer for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal and New Advance, the most powerful protection against water damage.
Don't trust the maintenance of your car to just any shop. Come to Affordable Car Care. We're your complete auto repair shop. We do starters, brakes, shocks, and struts, alternators, engines, and complete tune-ups. There's always plenty of free parking for you. Come and see us. You'll pass DEQ.
We service most makes and models, foreign and domestic. Let Affordable Car Care take care of your car. Come see us at 50th and Division in Southeast Portland.
Call Affordable Car Care today at 503-232-4060.
We want to change the way you feel about long distance.
Announcing new long-distance service from Quest.
We asked what you want, and we've been listening.
Here's the proof. New plans designed for the way you call.
Introducing Quest Long Distance for Oregon. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD for great rates by the minute if you talk a little, or by the month if you talk a lot. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD or visit us online.
We've got new plans at Quest.
All designed for you.
That's our spirit of service. Quest.
We go to the 6th inning of play at Dodger Stadium, and let's check out the Armor All Protected game summary. Both pitchers are dealing. Ishii has set down the last 8 he has faced, but Russ Ortiz has set down 13 in a row. Atlanta got a run in the 3rd inning. Braves had runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 out, and Rafael Percal was the lead runner, and he's stealing, but the ball gets away from Paul LaDuca. LaDuca trying to retrieve it back by the screen, picked it up, dropped it, picked it up again, and by that time, Percal scored all the way from 2nd base. And that's the only run of the game.
Chipper Jones will start the Braves half of the 6th inning. He has a fly to center and a walk to show for tonight's at-bats. Ball 1 is outside. Ishii has been very consistent since the first game of the season. It was at Arizona. He got beat 6-1. He only went 3 2/3 innings. They got him for 5 earned runs in that ball game. But since then, he has gone a minimum of 5 innings, and only once has he given up more than 2 earned runs in a ball game, and that came in the 2nd start against Arizona, a game that he got no decision in. So he's been very consistent. 295 earned run average. That has struck out as many as 7, and that's his total right now. Did he go? I think I would have asked for help.
Well, this is where he's thrown a lot of off-speed pitches tonight when he's been behind 3-0 or 3-1. There's that check swing again.
And the right call made.
Yeah. Body went, but the bat didn't.
See what he dials up here with a 3-1 count. Ball 4 is what he dials up. So that breaks a string of 8 in a row he had retired since the walk to Chipper Jones, which was the third of the night back in the 3rd inning. That's 4 walks issued by the left-hander, and he'll face Andrew Jones, who has had absolutely no fun against him tonight.
No.
Struck out swinging in the 1st, struck out swinging again in the 3rd.
It's very similar to his night last night when he really struggled against Hideo Nomo. And then once Nomo got out of the ball game, Paul Quantrill, the first batter he faced was Andrew Jones, and he singled to left.
Dodger infield will shorten a little and play him the pull. Curveball was low for ball 1. Braves probably make the most exaggerated changes, the most pronounced changes in their defense, but Los Angeles is one that will shift some people around. Back-to-back curveballs, and it's 2-0. Roberts usually plays a fairly shallow center. He's back pretty well now, but Brian Jordan can carry on a conversation with the guys in the bullpen. He is a deep left field. Another one out of the strike zone, and it's 3-0. It's Robert Fick. He's waiting for a turn at the left-hander. Fick has had a good couple of days at the ticket window. And he walked him, and Fick will get to face Ishii. A strikeout and a flyout. 5 walks in the ball game.
First baseman.
And Fick has been having to locate 40, 45 tickets a day.
That many?
That's a lot.
Wow. That's borrowing from your buddies and offering to pay back when the team goes to the Northeast.
5 walks issued by a Dodger pitcher tonight. They walked 9 last night. Incidentally, one of the guys who struggled at the end last night, Troy Brohan, was put on the disabled list today by the Los Angeles Dodgers with rotator cuff tendonitis. His spot on the pitching staff being replaced by Steve Collier, who was called up from Las Vegas and is here in the uniform.
Talking to John Bowles, former manager of the Florida Marlins, who's now a special assistant to the player development part of the Dodger organization now, and I asked him how things were going now that the Dodgers AAA franchise had moved from Albuquerque, where they were for so many years, to Las Vegas. This is the 2nd year they've had an affiliation with Las Vegas, and he said, well, it's tough on the pitchers because they can't throw any curveballs there. I said, sounds familiar.
Yeah.
They couldn't in Albuquerque either.
Exactly the same. So the meeting is over. Jim Coburn back in the dugout. Guillermo Mota is starting to throw in the Dodger bullpen. Fick is going to bunt. His attempt is not a good one. It cost him a strike.
Didn't quite get all the way out there and square it around. Ideally, there's Mota. Ideally, you'd like to push this bunt toward 3rd and make Beltre field it to get the runners over.
See if he tries it again. Dodgers think he's going to.
And he had shortened up.
Coming into this year, Robert Fick had never laid down a sacrifice bunt.
Well, that's no excuse.
Nope. I mean, standing right there as he is still never laid down a sacrifice
bunt. No excuse. He's a major league player, and he's a good one, and he can really hit. But you ought to be able to put a bunt down. I don't care who you are or how long it's been since you've put one down.
And that's something that's required reading in batting practice, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Don't you have to lay down a few bunts?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how the Braves strategize this one. Dodgers have backed up. They're not looking for the bunt. Whoa, what a close pitch he laid off of. Terrific spot for that fastball from Ishii.
Let's see how close it was. A late target for LaDuca. And it did just miss. But Bobby Cox usually doesn't like to give up in these situations, so don't be surprised if you see a hit and run.
Outside again, 2-2. Counts a little more in line for a hit and run now, isn't it, with a 2-2?
Uh-huh.
And a 1-2.
But if you can't get the bunt down, at least put it in play for me. Swing at it, put it in play, and protect the runners. It'll work the same.
Chipper Jones at second, Andrew Jones at first. And they're getting some pretty good leads, and Ishii keeping an eye on him. Somewhere in the Dodger dugout, they're thinking along with you.
Yep. Kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of times here when you were here, they didn't think along with you in the dugout, did they? To right field, off the fist, but it should be deep enough to get Chipper Jones to third. No, it's not. Sean Green with an accurate arm. A bluff by Chipper Jones, so not a productive at-bat for Robert Fick. He's out number 1 in the inning, and it'll bring up Javi Lopez. As hot as he has been lately, he has been that cold tonight. He struck out twice, and the ironic thing in those is that Javi Lopez has twice gone down looking, and he usually is up there hacking.
Let's see how his approach is this at bat after getting some off-speed pitches early in the count, especially on strike 1, his first 2 at bats. And you know that Ishii would like to get a ground ball here.
And Javi Lopez is also a good breaking ball hitter if you just spin it in there for a strike.
Fastball.
Right on time, too. No balls in 1 strike. Dodgers play him to pull. The outfield defense has a change from Andrew Jones to Javi Lopez. Changeup misses in.
One of the interesting comparisons between Ishii and Ortiz tonight, we talked about how they will go into some deep counts. They will walk some people, but neither guy's given up many homers.
No.
Ortiz in your pictures only allowed 3, and Ishii only 2.
Part of their pitching plan is just because I'm behind in a count and walking a lot, I'm not going to give in and say, okay, here it is, put it in play. That was a little bit of the Tom Glavine philosophy, too. It's, you know, to paraphrase Tom, and I don't want to offend any hitters in the league, if you keep throwing it out there, some dummy will go out and hit it.
Yeah.
And he never said that, but that's what you're thinking, that why should I give in? Because somewhere in the lineup is a guy who's going to get me an out before I can walk some runs in. And it sure has walked in Glavine's career. And Ishii and Ortiz proving that it works here. Paying a lot of attention to Chipper Jones. Andrew Jones taking that same kind of lead that you were talking about with Marcus Giles. He'll glance to the pitcher, but keeping an eye on Chipper Jones in front of him. Downstairs, evening the count at 2-2.
Well, what I like about the way Giles takes his lead in this situation when he's at first is that he is looking directly at second base. And out of the corner of his eye, he can see the first baseman if he darts in behind him. He can see the pitcher when he breaks out of his stretch. So he's got everybody in his sights. Andrew has done that.
That's popped up. Shallow right field. Cora has taken charge. Out number 2, and an 0-for-3 night for Javi Lopez. So after walking the first 2, Ishii's gotten out Fick and Lopez. He is still not out of the woods. He's got to face Vinny Castilla, who has been hitting the ball up the chimney tonight. He's popped to right and popped to second. I know Ortiz is a good hitter, but you can almost treat Castilla like first base is open and treat him like a wild card. There's no reason to give in if he's not going to chase your pitch.
Would you do that dictated by his at-bats tonight? And he's had a couple of pretty decent at-bats against him.
I think I would. He certainly wouldn't get anything right down the middle to start him off, but he did there.
But that's that batting practice fastball, really. That's not his good one.
That's his good one, a little off the plate. He's mixed his pitches well all night. Actually, he's mixed them in a couple of counts where we wondered what the heck was going on. But he hasn't. He's thrown the breaking balls behind the count. He started with breaking balls, but he's also given a little variety. That's 2-1.
Castillo, when he lined out his last time up to second baseman Alex Cora, it was a good inside-out swing. He had been behind in the count, and he is staying with this swing that's working for him right now.
Good place for an off-speed pitch. Instead, a fastball on the hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ishii was in a jam in the first for Colin Giles got on. Then he got out Sheffield, Jones, and Jones. He was in a big jam in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded. Eventually ended up while pitching in a run. That's the only run of the night, but he got out Jones and Fick. And now needs 1 more strike to Vinny Castilla to pitch out of a 1st and 2nd nobody out situation here that he himself put himself in with a couple of walks. Up and away. Full count. Showcase the fastball to go to full count to give that dead fish 3-2.
Not a bad choice. I don't think you'd want to try a backdoor breaking ball here to Castilla and give him a chance to adjust to it. Either that same fastball inside that he threw earlier in the count.
Well, the runners will be on the move. There they go. And it's the curveball, and it's hit in the air. Had his timing off just a little. So Ishii is going to get in and out of another jam, and the Braves are going to come up empty again. No runs, there were no hits, and there were 2 left. It's the middle of the 6th inning. It's still a 1-0 ball game.
There's never been a better time for baseball. And this is the place you want to be. TBS Superstation, Major League Baseball's top-rated national cable network. Don't miss a game or even a pitch. Get Major League action all season on America's Baseball Network, TBS Superstation. For year-round baseball coverage, pick up Sports Weekly today or subscribe for only 67 cents an issue. Call 800-USA-1415 and ask for offer number 513.
Automobile Magazine All-Star, 5 years in a row.
Since the current BMW 5 Series was first introduced, we've found very little to improve on.
Winner, $35,000 to $40,000 category, AAA Auto Guide.
And apparently, many others would agree. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Harper?
No, thanks.
No?
It's a texture thing.
A texture thing?
Too chalky.
This is different.
Smooth dissolve?
It takes care of that texture thing and the heartburn thing.
Tub Smooth Dissolve. Fast relief, silky texture.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add FTP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Does anyone have a better 99-cent value menu than Wendy's? Well, we haven't seen one. The super value menu at Wendy's. It's better here.
The power is in your hands. The Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Professional results in about a third of the time. The one and only Wagner Power Painter. For guys who like to run wide open.
Major League Baseball on TBS, brought to you by Wagner. Professional painting results fast. And Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here.
That's going to be all for Kaz Ishii. Larry Barnes is going to pinch hit for him. Barnes 0 for 1. Recall from Las Vegas AAA on Monday. He was hitting .279 with the Dodgers AAA club. There's a strike to it. .279 with 7 doubles, a couple of triples, 7 homers, and he had 26 RBIs. He was in the top 5 in RBIs and in home runs. In the air, shallow center. An easy play for Andrew Jones. There's out number 1. Let's go back to TBS Sports Control and Aaron Andrews.
Hey, John, check this one out. It happened in San Francisco. Runner on first for Mike Lowell. Grounds one down the third base line. Sean Burrows with a great diving stop. He guns out Lowell, and then Ryan Klesko fires the ball back across the diamond to Burrows to get Luis Castillo at third. That was a 5-3-5 double play. Padres with the 5-3 lead. Guys, back out to you.
That's a good double play. You don't get to write that down too many times in your scorebook, do you?
No, and that was going from one big hoss to another and back to him. Burrows to Klesko to Burrows.
Here's Roberts. Has the only hit of the night. Off of Russ Ortiz. He was the first batter Ortiz faced, and it was a bunt single, and it was a bang-bang play. Since then, Ortiz has only allowed one walk. 2-0. The walk was to McGriff. It was in the first inning. Now a stretch of 14 in a row set down by the Braves right-hander. Right down the middle. 2-1. You know, in the scoreboards around the country, they give us a recap, and they give the fans a recap of the at-bats. I like the one here in the first inning. Roberts singled to the catcher. 3-1. There it is. Grounded to second. Bite into that. A single to catcher. And he draws the walk. Not the guy to walk. A one-out walk. Second walk given up. The string of 14 in a row set down is broken. And keep an eye on Roberts. In the first inning, he wasted no time. He was off to the races on the first pitch. In successfully, and he stole his 17th base. He's only been caught twice. But this is an area where Javi Lopez has really kicked it up a notch. Lopez has thrown out 9 out of 18. That's 50%. Most people agree that 35 and better is exceptional.
Yeah, that was a rare one that Javi's allowed lately.
He wears the number of Maury Wills, the guy who set so many stolen base records. Kind of changed the tempo of baseball in the 60s. And has spent a lot of time working with Maury Wills on recognizing what a pitcher does. Good base stealers look for something to tip them off. Either one. Tip them off that you're either going home or going to the plate. If they know either one of those two things, then they know when to run. And once they've seen your best move, most of them want you to throw over a couple of times. Not going, and it's a strike to LaDuca. LaDuca with a sacrifice bunt and a grounder to short. He is 0 for 1. His average down below 275. LaDuca led all Major League catchers last year with 163 hits. And you can go up and down in the major leagues. He was the second hardest to strike out all of last year. This year, LaDuca with 15 strikeouts in 140-something innings. So fanning a little more frequently this year. He's going. And he's in. The high throw, the tag late on him, and if the throw's down, he might have had him. A good, quick release by Javi Lopez. Stolen base number 18.
It was going to take a perfect throw to get him. Absolutely perfect. The Braves were trying to hold him close, and he kept getting back on his belly back to the bag, but he was almost leaning towards second base when he broke that time and stole it even with a good throw.
The ball and a strike to LaDuca. Base hit here most certainly would tie it up. It's a good time to put that play on. Guy's just stolen second.
He is already leaning. He's got that left knee bent almost like he's in the starting blocks for a race. Like you might have to wear him down a little bit, and that was a close play, even though the tag was on the backside. Very close play.
And a good lead for Roberts out at second. That's off the fist, 1 and 2. Giles has gotten quicker with his tag. He's got hands as quick as a pickpocket now.
I like this too. If you're the base runner, if you're Dave Roberts, you got to wonder what it is that Giles has picked up about what you're doing, and you're going to be a little hesitant to extend your lead here. That's a good, whatever Giles said.
Even if it's a con.
Yeah. Even if he said, hey, that was a good pitch.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
Roberts doesn't know if there's something else on here or not, and he's going to have to shorten his lead a bit.
And he has done just that. Back up the middle, that's going to get through. So the Dodgers are going to play some ABC baseball and manufacture one. A walk, a stolen base, a single, and we're tied. For LaDuca, only his 11th RBI of the year.
Looked like they jammed LaDuca with a pretty good pitch. It was up, but he had enough top spin on his grounder to get it through, and then it just dies in that Dodger Stadium grass. No chance for Andrew Jones to come up throwing and get the fast Dave Roberts. He thought about it, but wisely made no throw.
1-1 to score. Still only one out. And here's Sean Green. Green has struck out, and he grounded to first.
Now let's take another look at another angle on that play at second base. The tag and the throw. Oh boy. Hand was short of the bag, and the tag was applied by Marcus Giles. And a break for Los Angeles. Huge break.
Green last night drew a couple of walks, but he was 0 for 2. And he's looking to get hot. Good changeup will get strike one. Back-to-back changeups. Good spots, good pitches.
It's where Ortiz has just got to stay with what's working, right? Even though he's allowed to run. Don't start inventing things now that you haven't been doing earlier in the ball game.
I think I'd be tempted to see if he'd take one more swing at that thing out there. Instead of throw over to first, will drive LaDuca back. Sean Green is prone to strikeout. The average is better than 100 a year. Tried it again, but missed high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Green now in his 4th year in a Dodger uniform. First year over hit 269. 297 and 285 since then, but he has averaged close to 40 home runs a season since he put on the Dodger uni. Close, but it'll be ball 3.
You can't just pitch Sean Green away and assume he's going to do you a favor and hit a weak fly ball or ground ball to the left side because he's a strong pull hitter. He can hit the ball out to left field. I was watching him batting practice today, and it was almost like that's what he was trying to do, and he was putting baseball after baseball into the pavilion and left.
Let's see if LaDuca's on the move. He's not going, and Sean Green strikes out. So that's a big, big strikeout for Russ Ortiz. It's the 2nd out in the inning.
It's just his 3rd strikeout of the night, but the 2nd time he's gotten Green. Good pitch by Ortiz. Took a little off the fastball, and it worked on the 3-2 count.
And that means Fred McGriff will bat with 2 outs, a walk and a grounder to short. Ortiz with a lot of outs on ground balls tonight. He had a stretch where he had gotten 7 consecutive ground ball outs. And Ortiz, most of the time, is thought to be a fly ball pitcher. Pitches up with his fastball. The man with the speed has played havoc with the Braves. That's Dave Roberts, their center fielder. High it inside, 2-0. Nobody throwing out in the Braves bullpen. Guillermo Mota has been throwing in the Dodger bullpen. The long inning that the Dodgers are having would give them plenty of time to get ready whomever they wanted. Short hop grab by Giles. He'll get the force out at second. But the Dodgers pick up a run on 1 hit and leave 1 stranded. And through 6, we're 1-1.
Tomorrow, she'll risk her life on the bed of death. He climbs like a cat and body part art. And all true Ripley's Believe It or Not. Tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, 10 Pacific on TBS Superstation.
Some help.
He's doing his Superman thing.
The Matrix Reloaded. Rated R. Starts this Thursday.
You see a countryside without phone lines. At Franklin Templeton, we saw an opportunity to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Uncovering hidden opportunities like this requires a unique perspective, one that has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
After a few years, the little lady might not be as little as she'd like. If a man knows what's good for him, he'll sympathize with her dietary struggles. Show her you're willing to climb down into that foxhole with her. Tell her straight up, for the next 12 ounces, I'll be counting calories with you. That's sensitivity. That's the light way to live the high life.
Get in the zone. Auto Zone.
If you're driving around with worn-out brake pads on your car, that's dangerous. Get to AutoZone for a new set of brakes today. Get in the zone.
Auto Zone.
Back here at Dodger Stadium, 1-1 ball game. It's time for Scouts Challenge. Our next series on TBS will feature the San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves. Log on to TBSSuperstation.com and answer a question about the series to give yourself a chance to win some great prizes, including one of which is a Philips TV.
And the new pitcher for the Dodgers is Guillermo Mota. Mota 2-1 with a 1.21 ERA. This is his 19th appearance. Mike Piazza's best friend. 7 walks, 21 strikeouts in 22 innings. League only hitting a .192 against him, as you see.
Well, this is an outstanding bullpen, even though it was touched up last night. Their ace was touched up. They still have a .213 earned run average. They've only allowed 79 hits in 105 innings, and they're averaging a strikeout an inning.
Yeah, that was the rarity last night, not only to the Dodger bullpen in general, but to Eric Gagne specifically. Russ Ortiz is struck out and lined out. He bats for himself and pops up the first one. And Duca back to have a look, and he's got room. 1 out.
We were talking about Jim Tracy watching Bobby Cox strategize last night. Well, he had some interesting strategy, too. He said once they got that to 7-4, he said, I'm getting Gagne out of there. Because he said, 7-4 with John Smoltz coming out of the bullpen, it's lights out anyway. We don't have a mercy rule, 10-run rule here. What's the difference in 21-4? 14-4. He said, with Smoltz coming on, you got no chance. So he said, I got Gagne out of there. So he's ready to go again tonight.
There's Smoltz. As Percal steps in, 2 for 3, 2 singles, and he scored the Braves' only run. Let's check out Percal's Supercard, brought to you by Franklin Templeton Investments. Singles in the first and third, and then a line shot right at Beltre's last time up. 1-1. Now, Moda and Mike Piazza have had a couple of dance sessions that have resulted in some suspensions.
There were more afternoon dances in spring training this year than I can remember before.
1-2 to Percal. In the air to center. Roberts has room. 2 out for Marcus Giles.
Second baseman, Marcus Giles.
Giles has been on base twice. He has singled, walked, and grounded out. He has stolen a base. There's his super card for the night, and his average at 333.
He sticks with this style of hitting. Every now and then he kind of goes in and out of it. He was saying in the dugout that he did go through the stretch, just as we thought, where he was pulling off of it. But he said, I felt like I got locked back in. He said, when I'm locked in, I'm thinking, take that ball right back up the middle, stay inside of the ball. He's a chance to be a very productive number 2 hitter.
Absolutely.
Because he's accidentally going to hit double figures in homers. He's that strong.
Right. He's ahead of Moda here, 2-0. Good pitch on the corner, 2-1. 96 on that fastball from Moda.
Long arms and an easy motion.
That's the truth. He's kind of a slinger. Look out. Did he go? Yeah, they say he did. 2-2.
Well, I think this is an easy one to call. He tries to hold up right there, but I think there was enough of that spin out that was a swing that you have to call that one a strike.
Moda shakes off a couple of signs. Ground ball to McGriff. Started to the bag himself, but he'll give it up to Moda, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Dodger relief pitcher. We go to the 7th inning stretch, still tied.
Can't get enough Seinfeld? I love you! TBS Superstation dishes out a double dose of Jerry every Wednesday night. That's back-to-back Seinfelds. 1 full hour that's full of laughs. Wednesday nights at 8 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
And there's more efficient use of space.
Great. Just talked to the guy at Office Depot. Everything's going to be fine.
Terrific.
Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized.
Looks good.
Office Depot. What you need to know.
What a great room.
So comfortable.
What about that breakfast buffet? All you can eat. I can't believe a room only costs us $99 a night.
$99? For both of you?
How did you get such a great deal?
Hotels.com.
Hotels.com.
Save on thousands of hotels worldwide. Hotels.com. The best prices at the best places, guaranteed.
We all feel the effects of our state's economic health, but none more than our school children. Locally, Operation Outreach is uniting schools, teachers, and parents. The support of Operation Outreach by the Metro Portland New Car Dealers Association gives classrooms a curriculum-based program tailored to meet the needs of our local schools and develop your child's education, pride, and confidence. This partnership is brought to you by the Metro Portland New Car Dealers, Operation Outreach, and Comcast Cable, helping our schools, helping our community.
So what do you want to do tonight?
You want to run a movie?
Sounds good. Whose turn is it?
I got it last time. It's your turn.
Fine. This one good?
Sure. Rent a movie from your couch. Hit movies every half hour. Another way Comcast Digital Cable makes life a little cooler.
Brian Jordan leads off the bottom half of the 7th inning and promptly sends a hot shot to Vinny Castillo, who throws him out, one away.
It's time for our TBS in the booth. Today's question comes from Liz Doris of Springfield, Tennessee. And Liz wants to know, who's the bullpen catcher? And is he counted on the roster? Well, no, he is not counted on the roster, and it's Mark Mortimer. There he is. Former minor league catcher who was offered the opportunity and fits right in here. He is a favorite of the players, and they treat him like one of the players. He is a hard worker, does a great job, and eventually would love to be a full-time, full-fledged coach here. So that's a good question, and there is your man right there. And every now and then, Joe, Pete Van Weeren, and our radio producer, Dave Baker, love to fleece him in a Hearts game on the plane.
And no, he is not counted on the roster as an active player.
Nor is he counted on the coach's roster either.
Right. Another beach ball on the field as Adrian Beltre steps in and has a 1-1 count on him. The Dodgers bullpen catcher is Rob Flippo, who was out of Florida State. Also went to the University of South Alabama. He's also an assistant coach at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington for a time.
He's also out of Gulf Coast Community College in Panama City, Florida. My old alma mater.
He hit them all, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Actually, he and I share that in common. We tried to keep that deferment while we were going from school to school. He put 2 years in down at Panama City and speaks very highly of the Gulf Coast Commodores.
1-2 to Adrian Beltre. Fouled back to one of the 31,021 fans here tonight. Had 27,000 plus here on Monday night. And cap night, if you hadn't figured that out. Another 1-2 pitch to Beltre. 2-2. Paul Quantrill begins to loosen up in the Dodgers bullpen as we get closer to the pitcher's spot in the order for the Dodgers. Beltre battling, fouls off another one. He's 0 for 6 in the series.
Well, we're talking about the Dodger coaches. Awfully glad to see that their hitting coach, Jack Clark, is recovered nicely and back here. He was involved in a motorcycle accident a few weeks ago, a pretty serious one, but he's now back and feeling better. Still a little sore, a little stiff.
Down the line, but foul.
And I could not talk him into switching to a Vespa.
No?
No chance. He said, look at his body. You picture it on a Vespa?
Yeah,
it's a heck of a lot safer, Jack. But apparently he has been riding for a long time. It's just one of those freak things, but a very dangerous accident that he survived and is doing well.
He's trying to give some instructions there to Beltre during this at bat. Stay on top of the ball. Tough play here for Call. Got him.
Got him on top of that, but not enough authority to drive it through the infield. Call was playing a very deep shortstop with Beltre, So he had to go a long way. One of the biggest improvements Furcal has made is that he doesn't get in a hurry anymore. A couple of years ago and early last year, he would have really gotten in a hurry on this play. Instead, made sure that he got the grab, took his time, trusted the arm, and he still gets Beltre by a step.
Alex Cora 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. They play him way around toward left, and he slaps one that way. But Chipper Jones is right there, and he'll hold him to a single. Braves had Cora defense perfectly. That's only the third hit tonight for the Dodgers, and the first one. Well, I take it back. I was thinking Roberts had both their hits. He doesn't. It's Roberts, LaDuca, and Cora who have the hits. His Turris 0 for 2. Grounded out twice. But keep an eye on Cora. He will run. Castillo comes in close at third.
Cora with only 2 attempts this year. He tried 9 last year and was successful 7 times. The name sounds familiar. His brother was Joey Cora, an infielder who spent about 11 years in the big leagues. Part of it upland Seattle, wasn't it? Seattle, Cleveland, San Diego.
That'll be out of play. 0-1. Yeah, I don't remember which team, but Joey Cora is now coaching in the minor leagues. Is Turris hitting .259. Fouls off another one. 0-2.
Okay, staying right in on his hands. He looks like he's trying to take the same swing Cora was taking. Just dump it into left field, but they're making it hard for him to do that. And right close to the thumb, so he can't inside out it.
If his Turris can reach, the pitcher's spot due up next, and Darrell Ward has the bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Pitch out, and he was going, but a late start, and oh, they didn't get him. It looked like Giles came down right on top of him, but not with the tag. That was a weird play, and I don't know if it was a delayed steal from the beginning or not for Cora, but the Braves pitched out and didn't get him.
I've often wondered why Braves pitch out so much 0-2. And then it was a delayed steal. Giles never got the glove down on him.
You know why? He was expecting him to go to the right field side of the bag, and he went to the third base side of the bag.
1-2.
Out of play. Stolen base for Cora, his second. But I think if I were Giles, I'd be thinking the same thing.
Yep.
We've got you dead to rights. You got to be trying to avoid the tag here. A low pitch count for Ortiz at this stage of the ball game compared to his other starts. Go ahead run at second. Almost hit him.
Chipper Jones has been kind of windmilling his arm out in left field. You watch this swing often enough, you got to figure if he puts it in play, he's got a good chance of coming your way.
Turris' base hit last night was into right center. The 2-2. Foul back again.
Still 10 or so away from that 100 mark.
The 2-2 on the ground that way, knocked down by Furcal. Long throw, high, but Fick hauls it in. Runners at first and third.
Saved a run and almost got the out. Fick waited to see where the ball was. He didn't try to stay on the bag to make the catch. Well, there it is. It was headed toward left field. Got that inside-out swing working.
Batting for Moda.
A lot of times the first baseman will try to stay on to get the out, but I think right there you just got to ensure that that ball doesn't get past you. He's planted, but he doesn't stride. It does Robert Fick. Waits to see where it was. He goes up the ladder and saves the run.
Well, Darrell Ward will hit here. He's the guy used most often by Jim Tracy as a pinch hitter. 2 for 14. Former Houston Astro. 0-1.
And was vulnerable to that his whole career. A change up on the first pitch.
One of the things about that throw by Percal also, Don, was that when he went to the ground and got up, in getting up and throwing in the same motion, he's kind of throwing uphill. Everything's moving up, and his throw and his arm action went uphill a little bit, which caused him to almost throw it away. A 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 7th. And time called by Ward after Ortiz just took a look over his shoulder at first base. I think Ward thought he was stepping off.
He got a lot of at-bats for Houston last year.
Out of play, 0-2. So Ortiz gets ahead of him quickly. He has 53 at-bats this year. No homers, 5 driven in. And you see that Ortiz has handled him to this point in his career. Cora not getting any attention at third base, dancing around at third. Curveball hit right back to Ortiz, and he handles it. Russ Ortiz gets out of the jam and leaves him on the corners. 4 men left on base for the Dodgers. 3 in the last 2 innings. Still tied.
TBS Superstation has a serious case of nonstop comedy. 2 Drew Carey's, 2 Home Improvements, 2 Seinfelds, and Friends. Holy crap, he's gonna blow! The nonstop comedy block, weekdays starting at 4:30 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
Oh, look, it's the guy who falls. Fall now.
Oh, I don't really do that anymore. It's not like I got that insurance.
What insurance?
Flat.
They pay you cash if you can't work when you get hurt. Not that I ever do. Aisle 5 under lingerie.
Price check.
Aflac. That's about it at work.
Aflac.
What can a Tyrannosaurus Rex teach us about a retirement plan? What's big one day may disappear the next. At Wachovia Securities, we learn from the world around us and provide financial advice for those who need to rebuild. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
From now on, long-distance, local, and high-speed internet will be together. Voice and data networks for companies large and small will be together. The innovations of one of the world's largest internet providers and the simplicity of one global network will be together. Together, under one name. MCI.
1-1 as we head to the top of the 8th. Well, we told you in our open what has happened to the Braves. One of the reasons they are so good leading after 7 is the bullpen, but we're right in the middle of some of those situations. Tied after 8, possibly a 1-run ball game, very possibly. Extra inning games, maybe so. This is where that part of the lineup that you normally don't count on, like the Javi Lopez, Vinny Castilla has been coming through for the Braves. But it's also a break here because they're starting with a guy that's hit the ball the hardest of anybody in the National League for the last 3 weeks.
And that's Gary Sheffield, who will face Paul Quantrill on the pitch for the Dodgers. Sheffield didn't like that call. 0-1. Quantrill 0-1 with a 1.04 ERA. One and one the count. He worked an inning here last night, gave up a base hit to Andrew Jones, but got a double play to get out of the inning. Just missed again, 2-1.
Gives you a lot of motion, herky-jerky action. Doesn't throw that hard. Pitches at the bottom part of the strike zone with sliders and sinkers.
Well hit. Deep left center. That ball is gone. Sheffield's done it again. 2-1 Atlanta. Ninth homer for Sheffield. And he continues to hit the ball hard. Nothing's been carrying tonight, Don, until that one.
Well, he puts a whole different perspective on things. That ball went out to one of the hardest places to hit out on a night like this. Left center field here at Dodger Stadium. Another one of those swings right down on it with backspin, and that one out with some room to spare.
I still can't get over how he hits the ball so far off his front foot. That's got a chance. Chipper Jones to deep left. Jordan leaps and made the catch. Brian Jordan robbed Chipper Jones of a home run. What a terrific play by the Dodger left fielder off the bat of the Braves left fielder.
And he played this very nicely, too. He didn't go running back there, didn't panic. The ball was high enough he had time to get back there. Placed himself against the wall, up the ladder. And there's the robbery.
Some more great defense turned in this series. That close to back-to-back homers. Andrew Jones, 0-1. 0-2. Guillermo Mota worked a perfect inning, and he's a very uncomfortable at-bat. I don't think any of the Braves are sad to see him out of there.
Because of the delivery and the long arms and erratic every now and then?
Hard to see the ball out of his hand. He throws very hard, and he's got a nasty slider. Jones stays alive, 1-2 the count.
One of the things that we wanted to get to in the open.
That'll get up the middle for a base hit. Andrew Jones, as he did last night, has a base hit off Quantrill.
When we were talking about this offense and how it is so vital to those good records that you saw in those situations. Another thing about this offense, there are no two guys who hit the same way. When you think about it, pick the first 6 guys in the lineup and go to Javi Lopez. You have 7 straight guys that you have to pitch differently. There is no one way that you could say, well, I can get out 3 of these guys by doing this.
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves are not a fastball hitting team. They're not a breaking ball hitting team.
They're not an inside-out hitting team. They're not a punch-and-Judy team. They're not an all-swing-hard-in-case-I-hit-it team. They give you 8 different looks and 8 different ways you have to pitch.
I think if there's an improvement on their offense, one of many reasons, and there goes Andrew Jones. LaDuca almost, well, he does throw it to center field, and Andrew Jones is off to the races. Roberts' throw to third is late, and that gets away. But a good backup by Quantrill saved a run. I'll get back what I was going to say in just a second. LaDuca came out like he was getting ready for a pitch out and didn't get it.
Yeah. Somebody might have botched that one there. Yeah, he did pop out.
His left foot was already stepping to the side.
And that may be why he threw that way, because he had to reach back in behind home plate to catch the ball. Never recovered his balance, so he ended up throwing a sailor that went back toward the right field side of the bag.
It's a stolen base and an error on the catcher. Stolen base number 1 for Andrew Jones. Infield in. 1-2 to Fick. He's got an opportunity to add to the lead. Fick 0 for 3 tonight. As the Dodger bullpen gets busy again, Tom Martin begins to loosen up. He's a lefty. Hard hit to left field. That'll get the run in. Base hit for Fick. And a guy who you generally figure to be a dead pull hitter, Don, goes with the pitch like you were talking about.
Yeah, see, there you are. You can't just set it any pattern. Can't figure you're going to do it the same way over and over because they're not going to do it away. They're playing him to pull, and he takes a pitch that maybe 2 inches off the outside corner. Looked like he had his mind made up the whole way. I'm not going to hit this anywhere but right over there. Good at bat for Robert Fick.
That was a good piece of hitting. His 15th RBI, and he's now hitting 8 straight. Javi Lopez, hard hit to third. Beltre, Decora, to McGriff. Nice around the horn double play. Gets Quantrill out of the inning, but not before Atlanta does what they've been doing so well all year. 2 late runs to first on a homer by Sheffield.
Using HP mobile technology to get information quickly and easily, the world's police forces now fight crime digitally.
Automobile Magazine All-Star, 5 years in a row.
Since the current BMW 5 Series was first introduced, we've found very little to improve on.
Winner, $35,000 to $40,000 category, AAA Auto Guide.
And apparently, many others would agree. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Most states prohibit showing large breasts on television. Unless, of course, it's on a sandwich. The big charbroiled chicken sandwich. With a quarter pound of chicken, it's one of the biggest chicken sandwiches in the world. New at Carl's Jr.
Take a look at our Office Depot scoreboard. Good games all around baseball, including Esteban Loaiza winning his 7th ball game, a 1-0 shutout. And by the way, the new MLB Authentic Collection Performance batting practice jerseys and caps are here. Now, anybody can get them. Just visit MLB.com. That's your Office Depot scoreboard.
Dave Roberts has been a thorn in the side of the Atlanta Braves tonight. It's 1 for 2 with a walk, 2 stolen bases, and has scored their only run. And Ortiz gets ahead of him 0-2. Russ Ortiz has allowed only 4 hits. Would you say this is probably his best outing as an Atlanta Brave?
Most definitely. I think it's his best control. I think it's his best command in the strike zone and around the strike zone. You know, he really hasn't had any stretches where he's thrown 12 out of 14 out of the strike zone.
On the ground to second. Giles handles it. 1 out in the 8th.
And he has used all his pitches well. He's pulled out his changeup at the right time. Hasn't thrown as many curveballs tonight. But his cutter has worked both sides of the plate. It's been a terrific ball game. You can tell, you watch him, he's a thinking man's pitcher. And you can tell he's a very quiet, very serious about it. But you can tell, I think, watching him when he's in the rhythm. He doesn't have to shake off any pitches. When he can nod right away, that it helps him stay in the groove.
Well, it's awfully nice, too, as he delivers a strike to LaDuca, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Awfully nice to have that extra run to work with this late, too.
Yes, it is.
He's got Roberto Hernandez warming up in the bullpen, backing him up right now. Jammed LaDuca, and for call, gets his man 2 down.
Well, he shook to get the pitch to Roberts of the ground ball. He shook to get the pitch there, so he has an idea and a feel now. You know early in the ballgame what your stuff's doing, but when you're throwing as smoothly and efficiently as you know what the pitchers are going to do. And he had an idea. This is how I want to get LaDuca out. I want him to hit it on the ground. Boom, here's a sinking fastball. It's fun to watch a pitcher get into a groove when you know he knows what he's doing.
He's had Sean Green's number so far tonight and gets ahead 0-1. Struck him out in the first, struck him out in the sixth. In between, he got a ground ball to first out of him.
And there was the different fastball. A cutter, he's still maintaining his velocity.
Gets ahead of Green 0-2.
Up on the corner, down on the corner. 2 cut fastballs.
That one at 91. Braves have a mini shift on for Green. And he hits into the teeth of it, but for call will have to charge and throw on the run, and some more good defense by the Atlanta infield. 3 ground ball outs, and we go to the 9th. 3-1 Atlanta.
Change the way you move through the world. The V6 Nissan Altima.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Own it now on DVD and video. Tonight. It's true. The musical is back.
I feel pretty. Was so pretty.
Paul.
Maria!
Analyze that. Own it now on DVD and video.
Oh, Maria!
With new Odor Eaters Plus. Odor Eaters Plus is the only insole with podiatric arch support plus protection on demand against odor and wetness.
You never know when you'll need allergy medicine. That's why there's new Alivert. Alivert starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue, without water. It's prescription-strength, non-drowsy, 24-hour relief. Allergy medicine right when you need it, wherever you are.
We start the 9th inning. Atlanta on top of the Dodgers, 3-1. Paul Quantrill still out there for L.A., and Vinny Castillo with a swinging bunt down the third base line, and Beltre can't come up with it. An infield hit for Castillo. He's 1 for 4.
It would have taken a good hands play to make that one. We had our good hands play in the 3rd inning. Paul LaDuca is the hitter. And Rafael Call, covering more range than the Cartwright family, makes the play. A good play on the backside, too. So good hands on both ends, and you're in good hands with Allstate.
Call and Giles have been outstanding tonight. And And the end of the road here for Russ Ortiz as he will make way for Julio Franco, who will pinch hit for him here in the ninth. John Smoltz loosening up for Atlanta in the bullpen. He'll work the bottom half of the inning. And for the Dodgers, due up McGriff, Jordan, and Beltre. Runner going and a pitch foul at the plate, and that got a piece of LaDuca. Braves playing a little hit and run here with the pinch hitter, Franco.
Trying to steal one more, give a little bit more breathing room for John Smoltz, and probably thinking he's going to try to get ahead of the pinch hitter coming off the bench.
You know, that's a good idea, because I think the scouting report, generally speaking, on Julio Franco is he's going to take the first pitch.
To take a pitch.
Franco 4 for 12 as a pinch hitter, 2 RBIs. They'll have to hurry to get 2. Double clutch, they still got him. Good grief. A slow roller, and Cora even had to dig twice to get it out of his glove.
I think Julio only had about 6 of his 8 cylinders clicking on this one. Double clutch. 1, 2, and still just now getting there.
Jeff Porter might need a timing light. Here's our good hands recipient, Rafael Furcal. 2 for 4 tonight with a run scored and a stolen base. Good changeup for a strike. By the way, on Alex Cora, look out. 1-1.
How do you get out of the way of that?
We're talking about Alex Cora's brother, Joey. He is managing for the Expos organization down in Savannah, Georgia, for the Savannah Sand Gnats in the South Atlantic League. Call takes ball 2. Two out, nobody on in the top of the ninth. 2 and 2 now to Furcal.
Greg Furcal was thinking somebody's got to pay for that jackknife. But why Greg Gibson? He does not look happy, does he?
No, he doesn't.
A little tight jaw there.
Dodgers playing Furcal way around toward left. Fouls one back. Atlanta, with a win tonight, would clinch their 9th straight series win.
It's an amazing streak they've been on.
Another one inside, not quite as far this time, but a full count. Marcus Giles would be next. Walked him. Good at bat, a patient at bat by Furcal. He draws the first free pass from Quantrill.
Number 22, Marcus Giles.
Running, yes or no? I bet he wants to be right away.
I think he probably does too after that pitch inside. And if he's going to go, if I'm Marcus Giles, I want him to go on the very first one.
Yep. Gives you the bulk of your at bat to play with, even if it is a strike.
Not going. Ball 1. Giles tonight with a hit. 1 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. He's 3 for 7 in the series already. He's going. Giles takes a strike and a throw down, not in time. Second of the night and the 8th of the season for Furcal.
And he's a perfect 8 for 8.
And I thought they called that a strike. I heard a yell from Greg Gibson, and Quantrill even looked in to ask where the pitch was, but it was called ball 2. And Giles slices that one foul. 2-1.
How'd you call a pitch the other night? Ball 2 down the middle?
Yes. Honestly, I heard him yell, and usually on a ball, you don't hear the umpire say anything.
Right.
Two and 2. Andy Ashby begins to loosen up for the Dodgers.
That's the pitch he needs to lay off with that swing. If he makes him drop it about 4 to 6 inches, then that's the one he slices to right field. But up there, he'll swing through it.
Well, he should get well, maybe not. Yeah, he will. Sheffield's on deck. He'll get a good pitch to hit here. They don't want to walk him. Smoltz is ready for the bottom of the ninth. And into right field again for Giles, but Sean Green battling the light goes to one knee to make the catch. And that saved the run. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Atlanta. Here comes Smoltz.
There is only one way to save our city. Neo.
What happens if I fail?
Then Zion will fall.
I need you.
The Matrix Reloaded, rated R. Starts this Thursday.
What are they looking at? This is an easy call. Nothing's proven to beat the itching and burning of athlete's foot better than boom, tough actin Tinactin. It's the only one clinically proven to prevent athlete's foot.
Ruling stands, Tinactin still tough.
Good call. Boom, tough actin Tinactin.
The BMW 5 Series has changed very little since its introduction in 1997. And with good reason. Because over the last 7 years, it's won more awards and accolades than any other car in its class. Begging the question, what could possibly be changed to improve it? The least price. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal, wood protector plus waterproofer for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal and New Advance, the most powerful protection against water damage.
Don't we need broccoli? I think I need a haircut.
Kids who can't wait to go on everyday errands?
How a real gas.
Here's why. Bank One introduces Disney's Visa credit card. The new way to turn your everyday spending into magical Disney rewards. Disney's new Visa card.
You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Only from Bank One.
NBA playoff action continues on TNT. Tune in tomorrow night for round 2 action with the Sixers taking on the Pistons in Game 5. Coverage begins 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on TNT.
And John Smoltz on to pitch the ninth for the Braves and promptly gets strike one on Fred McGriff. Smoltz going for his 16th save of the year. There are the numbers for the 3 guys due up in this inning. Smoltz has had a couple of days rest, which is unusual for him lately. But he leads the majors in saves, tied for 9th in the National League with 20 appearances before tonight. That'll be out of play. John Smoltz, according to Elias, the sports statistical service, has determined that Smoltz has set a major league record for pitching in consecutive team victories. In other words, the Braves have won the last 69 games in which he has pitched. Struck him out with a nasty splitter.
His fastball is 96, 98 miles an hour. That thing comes up there and dives at about 92. And McGriff is already committing for the fastball to get ready. Wouldn't mind if it was a fastball down. He only missed that by about a foot.
Tough for him to reach that one under any circumstances, but he really does stand off the plate. Brian Jordan 0 for 3, 0 for 5 in the series. Little tapper, tough play. Smoltz bare hand makes the play, 2 down. Dodgers are down to their last out, and Adrian Beltre 0 for 3 and 0 for 7 in the series. All Quantrill Right now, the pitcher of record for the Dodgers. He would take the loss. A long home run by Sheffield, leading off the 8th. Braves tacked on another run for good measure the same inning. Beltre with a 2-out rocket into right center, and that'll go all the way to the wall. Sheffield will pick it up and hold him to a double, but the Dodgers are still alive.
Beltre was 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 3, and hadn't really had any good swings, but he gets up to some good high fastball.
Bobby Cox had his hat off, John, like he was upset about the pitch selection, or maybe just the fact that it was up.
That probably is it, but you know, it's a manager and a coach's prerogative to yank your hat off and worry every time somebody hits one of your best.
I'd be rubbing my head too. Alex Cora has a base hit tonight and a stolen base, 1 for 3. Braves play him way over toward the left field line. And he hits one that way. Tough play for Jones, but Chipper Jones is there, and the game is over. John Smoltz comes on and nails it down for Russ Ortiz, and the Braves have won their 9th straight series by taking the first 2 here in Los Angeles. Atlanta again with some late offense, and they beat the Dodgers 3-1. Back with the wrap-up right after this.
Does anyone have a better 99-cent value menu than Wendy's? Well, we haven't seen one. The super value menu at Wendy's. It's better here. It's there at your fingertips. Armor All Protectant Wipes. They don't just clean and shine. They protect with just a wipe.
Think it's impossible to paint plastic? Think again. Introducing Krylon Fusion, the revolutionary paint that actually bonds to plastic on a molecular level. Without any sanding or priming, its unique formula provides a smooth, professional finish that won't flake off. Krylon Fusion, the no-prep super bond paint for plastic.
Blue skies, yellow lemons. One perfectly refreshing day. Minute Maid lemonade, made with real lemons. For people who know a real thirst needs real lemonade. Minute Maid lemonade. For people who know lemonade, it's Minute Maid.
A breakthrough offer from Midas, America's trusted leader in brakes. Right now, get lifetime BSD brake pads or shoes for just $39.95 at Midas. And you'll never have to buy brake pads or shoes again for as long as you own your car. So how do you find the time to repair your brakes without stopping your life? The answer is Midas, for fast, reliable brake service. Hurry into Midas today for lifetime BSD brake pads or shoes. Next stop, Midas. Lifetime brake pads or shoes, $39.95. Installation extra at Midas.
Major League Baseball on TBS, brought to you by Office Depot. What you need to know. Coca-Cola, let's make it real. MCI, bringing voice and data solutions together on one global network. And Armor All, it doesn't just clean and shine, it protects.
Braves make it 2 in a row, win this one 3-1. Some interesting ways to put runs on the board tonight. The first run would come with Furcal and Giles on base. A double steal was being attempted. You see Furcal on the move, but a wild pitch would bounce away, and before LaDuca could retrieve it, run number 1 was across the plate. Run number 2, something we're more used to seeing, a long Gary Sheffield home run to left center. After that, Andrew Jones would hit a 1-out single, steal second. Robert Fick take a pitch the other way and drive in run number 3. John Smoltz would make it stand up in the 9th inning, and the Braves would win it 3-1. Totals for the Atlanta Braves: 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors with 8 left on. The Dodgers a run on 5 hits. They committed an error. They stranded 6. The win goes to Ortiz, his 5th. the save to Smoltz. He is now the big league leader. Paul Quantrill with a shaky inning will pick up his second loss, the only home run, a Gary Sheffield homer. 9 straight series wins, and tonight they were off to the races. 7 stolen bases. Good ball game all the way around. Joe, good defense, good pitching, and some timely hitting.
We've seen some good games in the last week or so, Don, and the Atlanta Braves continue their good work. They've won 23 of their last 27 ball games. Our next telecast on TBS Superstation will be Friday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time as the Atlanta Braves take on the San Diego Padres. That'll be Mike Hampton against Jake Peavy. Coming up next on the Superstation, Kevin Costner. Costner stars in the classic Bull Durham. Hope you'll stay tuned for that. For Don Sutton and our entire MLB on TBS baseball crew, this is Joe Simpson. Once again, your final score, Braves 3, Dodgers 1. Good night, everybody.